So, Dion, last week's episode was really, really successful, but people are starting to get really upset with us because they think we've lost our integrity. So tonight I've decided to just stop with everything that we would normally talk about, and we're going to have a real serious discussion, just the two of us. So I've been thinking about this question all week, and I've been wanting to talk to you specifically. Which field of entertainment do you feel that black people were first successful in? Do you think it was music, movies? Answer that for me.
You know, the first one, you say?
Yes.
I think I have to say music.
I would agree. See, don't you love when our episodes are just in-depth discussions with no fun?
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like we've reached an educational summit with this one.
Yeah, teachers, make sure that you play this portion of World Class Bullshitters for your kids, because this is life-changing. Plus, this is the only minute we're ever going to act like this, because welcome to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the one, the only, Dion Green.
Baby, the man, plan, original tan, making white mothers everywhere, ready to come to your man.
I don't even know what to say after that.
Say hi to Kendo Slice.
Do you guys know what the difference between a Taliban outpost and a Pakistani elementary school is?
What?
No, I don't know either. I just fly the drone. That's why I was asking.
Just press the red button. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Close your eyes. If you don't see it, it's not illegal.
Oh, look at the shit go flying on my screen.
And finally, the last standing Samoan, Nick Udom.
I got my tickets for Dragon Cons, and my balls are shaved. I'm good to go.
So this is episode 87 of World Class Bullshitters. Last week we had another hit episode. Lots of views, lots of subs, so welcome to everyone that has found our channel within the last week. We appreciate it. Also, special thanks to Diversity in Comics. That dude gave a shout-out to us, which was the first for us. And bunch of new subs. So if you are here from his channel recommendation, thank you, and thanks to him again. Let's see. This week, we're going to cover a whole bunch of pop culture-related goodness, and we're going to knock a prolific film director down a couple of pegs. James Cameron, we coming for you, nigga. But first...
Oh, shit.
You gotta fuck it up now!
Yeah! You're done, son! Anyway, a very special shout-out to the listener of the week, Yusef Reyes. Yusef, you've been a long-time listener, and we thank you for your support. If you'd like to become the listener of the week, grab our attention somehow. You don't have to subscribe to Patreon or buy a shirt, but those are just guaranteed ways to make it. Also, a very special shout-out to a guy whose name I think is Daft Hooligan. You were the only person to get my Beverly Hills Cop 2 reference over in my Marvel Comics video. People thought I was just making an itchy dick joke, but you said about, is that fucking Foley in here, and you kept it going. So thank you so much for being an enlightened pop culture fan. Also, listeners, if you change your name and you don't tell us who you are, there's no way to recognize you. Todd Howard. Okay, so now it's time for the news, because next week it's irrelevant. Before we get into that, Nick, the only reason I bring that up is because a lot of people that like our show have changed their names, and they'll talk to me, and I just don't know who it is.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. Don't do that at all, because then we have no idea who you are, and we're just like, yeah, cool, whatever, man, whatever, bro. On to the next person.
We appreciate everyone that listens to the show, but
we do.
If it sounds like we give people preferential treatment, and we don't, it's just because we recognize, like, Brian Lapes on every video. Augs for President's almost on every video. Guys like that constantly comment. Christopher Littleton. I mean, everyone's always talking to us, so we see the name and we think about it. So the best way to just get our attention is to talk to us. We read 99% of the comments. I don't read any on the Star Wars videos anymore, because that's just a fucking cesspool, but everything else is cool. Now, speaking of Star Wars, let's start the show off with what we show in the title image this week. Star Wars The Last Jedi. Yay. Well, there's actually something positive I have to say about it. There's a new...
No, please.
They canceled it?
Yeah, that's it. That's the show. Thanks for watching.
It's over. It's done. I can finally sleep.
Yeah, it's December 16th. We've all seen the movie. We've reviewed it, and we're just waiting for the views to roll in.
That would be a shitty place to time travel, honestly. Why that day? Why that day? What the fuck?
Well, I was going to bring up my new favorite show on Hulu, 11/22/63, but it's kind of like that. You can only time travel to that day, and you can't change shit. So you can basically skip out on 2 months of your life if you'd like.
Jeez. Wait, hold on. Can you travel back and forth?
No,
or just that day?
Just 2 months. Just 2 months ahead, and that's it.
Oh, that's horrible.
So basically, like, you will have lost your job. Your family will think you've gone missing. You know, Hillary would have looked for another husband. You know, like just shit. Like it's just enough to ruin your lives, but not enough to like be awesome.
But you'll have gotten to see Kennedy's head get blown off in real time.
That's well, not
back into the left. Back into the left.
Yeah, I mean you can just pull up a chair, get some popcorn, sit there, and just wait for the fucking shit to go flying.
Yeah, and then you're the asshole in all the pictures, all for the rest of the time. It was just like the asshole in the fucking lawn chair and has a bag of popcorn there, just sitting there as all this shit is going down. Everybody goes crazy. You're just that asshole in the pictures forever.
But I was just really excited to see the president.
Yeah, either that or you fucking show up in that morning and you start taking bets on if the president's going to get killed that day.
And the FBI will abduct you and you'll never be seen from again.
Yeah,
no, because I would get back in my thingy and like travel back to like normal time.
Kendo, the way that show works is there's no machine. He has to go to a certain place and then he walks through it and it takes him back to the future or the past. So
it's a doorway kind of wormhole thing?
Yeah, and so when he travels, because he lives in Maine, and when he travels through the door, he's in Maine in 1960. He has to take a fucking bus all the way, or he gets a car, but he drives to Texas and lives in Texas for all these years. He has to wait 3 years to do this.
Oh, God.
The show's phenomenal. 10 out of 10.
It's a hell of a build-up to the main event.
Yeah, that's one. I mean, that's extremely practical. Good for them on that. But damn.
Will you become more interested in the personal drama of James Franco and his hot blonde future wife than you do saving Kennedy? Because it starts out, he's like, I got to go back and save Kennedy. Okay, I will.
I wouldn't do that anyway.
Well, he changes his... Well, I'm not going to... Never mind. You just watch this show. I don't want to ruin it for you. Nick, you'll love every episode.
Oh, yeah.
Tuesday? I didn't do anything on Tuesday. I just watched that show.
Yeah, I might do that here soon. That sounds good.
Maybe when's your next off day after Dragon Con? Like when you get home and you're free for a whole day, get your ass a big bowl of cereal and you start with episode 1. It's an hour and 20 minutes, and you will not be able to stop watching until you've seen the entire journey.
Okay. I think Monday's my next day off.
Well,
how many episodes is it?
Only 8. Kendo, do you got Hulu?
I don't.
Well, talk to me off air. Maybe we'll work something out.
Yeah, we'll exchange we'll exchange goods and services.
Yeah.
World-class bullshitters bringing back the barter system.
Yeah. Well, Dion's got to exchange some hand jobs to about 4,600 people.
I still never got mine.
Well, we're coming to make the movie at your house. That's when it'll happen.
That's true.
Just gotta wait, man. Do not just save up that load for the next year, and then it's just gonna be nasty. It just won't
I'll be like
stop.
that fucking guy from American Pie waiting to bang Stifler's mom again.
Finch.
Be like, sorry guys, I can't be on next week's episode. I'm gonna be like so turned on at the idea of Dion's voice that I'm just gonna have to sit there and meditate because I'm trying to hold it all in.
Don't feel bad, baby. Don't feel bad. The feeling is mutual.
I'm gonna have to get his address so I can send him hand lotion to get him softening it up now.
Oh, he's already soft.
Oh, okay.
Really soft.
All right, good.
That chocolate's about to melt. But let's get back to Star Wars.
In my mouth and not in my hand.
Anywhere you want, man. So this image of Luke Skywalker came out this week, and it's actually really fucking cool, because instead of looking like the guy from Lord of the Rings, he's dressed in a black cloak with a black outfit, and he looks like he's basically, you took Return of the Jedi Luke, you stranded him on an island for all these years, and you just put a coat over the other outfit, and he looks cool. So I'm going to try to send you guys that image right now, but it's going to be this week's title image, and it's exciting. If the movie doesn't... Okay, the movie's going to suck. What the fuck am I talking about?
Yeah, come on, man.
I can't... Look, I'm not going to buy into the hype. All I can say is I like Luke Skywalker, and I hope he doesn't die.
Yeah, I still love that video of him shitting on it, in all his interviews. I love it so much. And there's nothing they can do about it because he's fucking Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing they can do. They can't tell him to shut up or anything because it's him.
Yeah, the one and only. There's the image, by the way, on Skype for you guys.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not like they're going to be able to come out and chastise him and Mark Hamill's inappropriate, blah, blah, blah. He's putting down our movie. They're kind of just hamstrung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got him by the balls.
Yeah, he does look cool. But it's just an image, and I don't know what this outfit is for or anything. So I guess we'll find out in a few months.
Sadly, I wish this movie didn't exist.
I second that motion.
Well, let's talk about something that a listener named Eric Ward requested. Force Friday. So do you guys know what Force Friday is?
Is it like Rape Friday?
Yeah, I was going to say, is this where you force people, specifically women, to do stuff for you?
That's every day of the week for me. No, Force Friday is a very special day. It's basically like Star Wars Day Part 2, but it's like Christmas, but it's all commercial, so whatever. Anyway, so listeners, by the time you hear this episode, dozens and dozens...
like Christmas.
It is just like Christmas. It's Christmas for nerds. Anyway, dozens and dozens of grown men will have descended upon toy retailers across America to politely push their way through and buy useless Star Wars action figures. So, it's 9:03 p.m. on August 31st, 2017. At 12:01 a.m. on September 1st, 2017, a bunch of weird white guys are going to go buy Star Wars action figures. And then they're going to go to Facebook, and they're going to go on and on about, I got Luke, I got Rey, I got a Praetorian Guard, I got the Darth Vader because he's in a different box from the other Darth Vader, but it's the same toy, but I'm going to put this one up because I like to collect my action figures in the box. Oh, here's a Stormtrooper. Here's another Stormtrooper. All right, cool, I got Old Man Luke Skywalker. Greatest character ever. Fuck off, people. Like, don't go to Force Friday. It's a fucking lame-ass thing to do.
Oh, God. This kind of makes me fearful for Dragon Con, because it's going to be like Star Wars, like as far as the eye can see. Like that's all it's going to be. A bunch of Reys and Kylo Rens everywhere.
I kind of want to go to the store just to beat them people up and take their lunch money and give them flashbacks to when they were in school.
They have fucking Vietnam flashbacks. Like, no.
Like, give me your lunch money, you fucking dork.
What I really would like to do is get to the store early and like hoard all the shit, and then just buy it. Hold it, sit on it for like a week, and then return it to the store for free.
No. Here's what you do. Here's what you do. You buy it all. You wait until they're all done buying it. Wait for the stragglers. You fucking open up your trunk and be like, yo, I got this stuff, but it's like double the price. Done.
There you go.
You want Luke Skywalker in a Jedi robe? $45. In there, $18.92, $45 in the back of this Volkswagen. And people will pay.
Yeah, of course they will
pay. Dion, you won't pay, will you?
No, I will not.
Yeah, me neither.
Hell, I might start bidding wars.
Yeah, that's true. I'm going to go to the gym in the morning tomorrow, and I might see if they got anything worth trying to resell on eBay. Other than that, I don't care. Last time they had Force Friday, I walked into Walmart, and then I bought a Chewbacca action figure and a Micro Machine, and then I left.
That's not too bad.
They have a Little Bits droid inventor kit where you get these little pieces of, like, these little computer parts, you put it into R2-D2 and make him do stuff. See,
that's kind of cool.
That, I mean, like, I've got the old where you talk to him, and he'll acknowledge your voice whenever you say, hey, R2, and you make him do all kinds of stuff, but this one seems a lot cooler. It's $100 though, it's not bad.
Well, see, Nick, I'm hypocritical, because if it's old school Star Wars shit, I'm excited. Like, this Lego Millennium Falcon, which I'll never spend $800 on, is cool, but it's cool from a distance, and then I could walk up to it and be like, oh, that's it, bye. Like,
and then you sneeze and knock it the fuck over and be like, yo, it wasn't me.
The funny thing is, if you pay, like, okay, I do know this stuff, the details, like, wow, the way to get you to buy this, if the ship wasn't big enough, is Han Solo has new hair. Chewbacca's painted differently. C-3PO, they put a little bit of silver on his leg, and Princess Leia's the same fucking toy. Oh, you know how you know it's a good value? They have both satellite dishes for the Millennium Falcon. And if you pay attention to the advertising images, they only advertise the Empire Strikes Back scenes. Like, they're not worried about all this Force Awakens shit. It's Han and Leia making out, and C-3PO ruining the moment, the intergalactic cockblock.
Intergalactic cockblock.
It's, they know how to market the old school shit because they know that's all the people are going to buy.
Now, here's the thing. Me, my brother, and my cousin once built the Taj Mahal in like 3 days. Ooh. And that's I think it's not as many pieces as this one. I think that one was like 4,500 or 5,000 or something like that. It was still a good amount of pieces, but it wasn't 7,541. So I don't know. We may pitch in and get that for Christmas or something, and we just build that in like a week or something.
Send me photos of it,
dude. I might make a video if we actually do it.
Oh, jeez. Do a time-lapse video. That'd be amazing.
Of course.
And then send me the raw video file, and then I'm gonna like put a sound clip of a fart over the whole thing of it, and then just upload it.
That's funny.
Well, how? Just to show you how fucking stupid Star Wars fans are. Just today, 5 people have given this a 5-star rating. Somebody rated this the best Lego set ever. So excited for this new set. How the fuck are you reviewing it? You don't own the motherfucker. It has 42 thumbs up and 222 thumbs down.
I disagree.
Another 5-star rating. My prayers are answered, all in capital letters. Finally, I can't wait to get my hands on this bad boy. Will be great fun to build as a family. 51 thumbs up, 327 thumbs down. Nerds. No one gives a fuck. It's not out. You can't review it yet.
Hold on. If you're building this as a family, first of all, I hope you don't have any small kids, because if they swallow the pieces, you're fucked. They're gonna die immediately. It's gonna happen. If they're slightly older, how are you gonna keep their attention with them like always having their iPads and their iPhones in their hand? It's gonna be you, the dog, and the wife trying to. Actually, it's gonna be you and the dog trying to build the fucking thing. Wife's gonna be like, "Fuck you, I'm making dinner." Like,
I feel like this would be a fun weekend at the Brian Lape household. Like they're all chipping in and making the Millennium Falcon.
So essentially, you've just described them the status of Mormons.
Yeah, pretty much. But Nick, I'm going to go by the virtues of the Lego Shop review system, because these fans have already rated this Lego set 5 stars. So tonight, on August 31st of 2017, right here on World Class Bullshit, I'm going to review Star Wars The Last Jedi. And it's 100% credible, because the Lego set allows it, so you have to allow this. So anyway, Star Wars The Force Awakens is a rehash of The Empire Strikes Back, with a little bit of Return to the Jedi sprinkled in there. There's these cute little characters called the Porgs. They're kind of like the Ewoks, except they fucking suck even harder. Luke Skywalker looks cool in all the pictures, but he doesn't really do much, because it's always in service to the character of Rey, who kinda sucks. She gets away unscathed the second time, and Kylo Ren loses. Thus setting up no excitement for the third final movie, Episode 9. We finally ran out of ideas. So that's my review of Star Wars The Last Jedi. I give it 0 out of 10. Make sure Rotten Tomatoes gets my score by the morning. Just saying, if Lego can do it, so can I. World Class Bullshit is just as credible as Lego, and less Dutch.
Holy shit.
That's 100% true right there.
I don't lie. I exaggerate, and I bullshit, but I don't lie.
Yep, that's true.
Okay, so does anyone have anything else they'd like to say about Star Wars? Because I would like to just distance myself from this atrocity for the next couple of hours.
I just really just fucking hate Star Wars now. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm glad I have all my old stuff.
Yeah, me too.
I'll probably never buy any more Star Wars ever again, to be honest with you, unless it's something like that I find that's old, that's cool, or I've never seen before, or anything like that. But other than that, like, I'm not going to buy anything new. I refuse to give them any more of my fucking money. Like, it's not going to happen.
Well, my thing is, I will buy old stuff as long as Disney doesn't get a cut of the profits, because fuck those people. Fuck them all.
Yeah.
All just in the fucking face. I hate everybody that works on this movie. Even you, Harrison Ford, you sell out. But you're talking about being tired of Star Wars, dude. I got the trilogy posters in my office. I want to replace them with Back to the Future, Beverly Hills Cop, and an undecided third movie poster. So, listeners, if you'd like to suggest, damn it. Okay, listeners, don't suggest it. Kendo wins. It's going to be a naked lady, 27 by 41, big ass, big titties, all over my wall.
I'm on it. Hang on.
All right, Kendo, I'll send you my address afterwards.
Got it, buddy.
I love it.
So, real quick, this is a quick news story. Jack Kirby, his centennial was this week. So, if you don't know who Jack Kirby is, I'm sure you've heard of his work. He was responsible for such characters and comic book series as Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, the Hulk, the Avengers, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, Black Panther, the Silver Surfer, Darkseid, and dozens more. While he's not my favorite artist, you can't deny the impact of Jack Kirby. Now, Nick, I know you're very well aware of all the characters I listed, but would you believe me if I told you, with the exception of like 2 of those, that he drew all those comic books at one time? Like, in a month, he would draw Fantastic Four and Avengers and X-Men and the Hulk.
Jeez. Okay, so what you're telling me is he would just draw them, not color them in correctly. He would just draw them and then give them to people to color, or he would do like everything.
No. Well, no, in comic books, even now, it's mostly somebody pencils it, somebody inks it, and then somebody will color it. And back then, the coloring was such a low job on the totem pole, they don't even get credit in the old books.
Gotcha.
But yeah, this dude was doing like 4 fucking issues a month. So basically, he would knock out an entire issue in a week, and his output was ridiculous.
Damn, dude! All that proves to you that persistence and drive makes a difference, really.
Yeah, he busted his ass. I mean, he's not my favorite artist. I've said that before, but I got to give him all the respect in the world. No one else could do what he did, and his life kind of ended on a down note because he got screwed over. He didn't get any kind of big payoff for any of this shit. And Marvel makes billions, and his family gets nothing. But you know what? That's just.
Even if they were to get 1%, I mean, they'd be really happy with that. I'm sure.
Fuck. Dude, what's 1% of $5 billion? $5 million?
$5 million, I think.
If somebody's like, "Hey, your dad in 1986 helped this. Here's 1% of our take," and somebody gave me a check for $5 million, I'm set. I'm invested in that shit.
I'm coming over.
No, I'm coming to you. You said about Camp Kendo being open. I'm going to come stay with you for like 3 weeks, and then we're going to go to Vegas as a big group.
All right.
So, come on, my dad who died, please have invested in something where I get a $5 million check tomorrow. I could really use it. No, but I just thought I'd mention Jack Kirby because he's a hugely influential character. Marvel Comics wouldn't exist the way it does now without him. And I don't think a lot of younger listeners know who he is.
Well, sorry, no, that's $50 million, not $5 million, $50 million.
Oh, fuck. Dad who died, please have invested in something that gives me $50 million, because do you guys have any debt? I'll help you pay it off.
I think at that point you're just going to buy a place in Vegas for us to just hang out, get drunk,
I will buy World Class Bullshitters headquarters.
Look at naked women all the time.
Oh my god, that's my dream. We just hire a bunch to like be waitresses at the house. Like, hey, Kendo needs this. And so that's cool.
On one condition.
Sandwich and beer.
On one condition, we have to keep Phil in the cage where he has to look at them, and he can never they never come near to him. They won't say like the goddamn plague.
Who said Phil was invited?
Okay, fine. He just look through the fence and the compound that way. That's it.
We'll send him and Loudy photos. Because Loudy doesn't want to ever go back into a strip club again, so I don't want to get him in trouble. Yeah, we'll talk about that off air. I don't want to embarrass Loudy, even though he doesn't listen to the show ever. His girlfriend may one day happen to pick episode 87 of World Class Bullshitters because of that attractive image of Luke Skywalker in the black cloak, and think to herself, "I'm ready for some good wholesome entertainment." And she hears about how her boyfriend was at a strip club and had me hold his wallet because he couldn't control his dick.
Oh yeah! Oh god!
Well, at least it's better than the reason I thought it was going to be.
I remember the look on his face like a kid in a candy store, man. For like being in the candy store for the first time, it's like, this place exists? These things
yeah.
I was worried the answer was going to be like he felt bad because he thought he was objectifying women or something stupid.
I don't hang out with any losers like that. We all look at I can make 1,000,001 jokes about this shit, but I'm not that kind of guy. Just because I like boobs and stuff doesn't mean I'm a terrible human being. I'm an okay guy. I just really like tits, so I'm gonna go to the strip club, have some drinks, have some fun, and I'm not gonna pay $500 to sleep with a hooker. So,
Phil.
Also, strip clubs are very special because that's how I solidified my friendship with Dion, and we're nearing a decade of friendship, so if it wasn't for that stripper, I don't think Dion and I would be as tight as we are, and this show would not exist.
And I wouldn't know what a concussion feels like.
Yeah. So to that 42-year-old stripper who was just, working to make ends meet, thank you, lady. You created an empire.
she's probably dead right now, let's be honest.
Possibly. Anyway, let's move on to the next segment. Real quick, Ant-Man and the Wasp had their villain announced today. So this comes from IGN.
Is it the Bumblebee?
It's actually Bumblebee from Transformers. So,
ooh, crossover.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Basically, Ant-Man's going to take one of those discs that he had in Civil War, and he threw like the little truck and it got big. He's going to throw that at Bumblebee and just shrink him down and keep him in his pocket. So when they fight Thanos in Infinity War, he just pulls it out and a fucking Transformer appears.
Yeah, and then Thanos rips the fucking Bumblebee apart with his mind, like, done.
God, that would be a cool-ass crossover. I just want The Rock to somehow appear in that movie to try to help the Avengers and then die.
Yeah, can he just appear as The Rock? Can he just appear as The Rock? That's all I want.
It's just The Rock
here to save you. Yeah.
I love it.
That's all I want. Just have him be there as The Rock. He's like he does he does a better job than Captain America and Iron Man and everybody, and he just like beats the shit out of Thanos for a little bit and helps him out, and then that's it.
Nick, there will be a day where we're making one of our many successful films, and right in the middle of it, The Rock's theme song will hit, and The Rock will appear and help us solve whatever problem we have. So keep that in the back of your mind.
Where we left the car keys.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, only The Rock could help us out. If you smell... Rock's got your car keys, you're burning. Thanks, Rock! And he just disappears. We just, every time we need help, like, oh man, what would The Rock do in this situation? If you smell... He appears, he helps us out. Thanks, Rock! No problem, guys. Disappears.
The Rock says you should have a dish by your door to put your keys in. We
have please for this episode, hashtag WWTRD.
What would The Rock do?
Yeah. Can we have this a hashtag for the episode, please?
Oh my god,
we could always get that
so
on
incredible.
A t-shirt.
Yeah, that's true.
And you'll be able to go to incarnate-studios.com to buy those t-shirts.
That's true, you will. Don't forget that fucking hyphen, or else you'll get the old... See, the hyphen I know is kind of confusing, but what happened is my cousin and I were going to start a poster business in 2013. And I did one of the posters, we got the money together, and we printed it, and he bought the domain. Well, he never, ever, ever built the website. So I waited for months and months, and nothing came about it. So I decided to get my own domain, and I did, but I had to use the hyphen. So that's why the hyphen exists at incarnate-studios.com. And that's why I remind you not to forget that fucking hyphen, because you won't find the awesomeness that is world. You know what? If you just want to help us out, just Google world-class bullshitters and everything pops up. That's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, and Google it a bunch of times.
Yeah, don't worry about the fucking hyphens. Just
Google your fucking brains out.
Yeah. If you Google world-class bullshitters, like weird pictures of our pop up. So, yeah, I kind of like that. I kind of don't, but whatever.
But how can they Google if Google isn't a real word?
Use your emotions in your butthole and figure it out. This episode's going to win an award for the most tangents ever, because we're 27 minutes in, and we've only covered 3 things, but we keep talking about a million other topics, so I hope that guy that complained last week is, listening still, and going insane. Like, oh my god, will they get to the fucking Ant-Man and the Wasp? Yes, we will, right now. So, from IGN, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is getting bigger all the time, with next year's Ant-Man and the Wasp adding several new heroes and villains into the mix. One of those new additions is Ghost, played by Hannah John Kamen. Don't know who that is. A sinister villain who, in the comics anyway, lives to make life miserable for the business tycoons of the Marvel Universe. Ghost is a skilled inventor and hacker whose ability to interface with machines allowed him to design an advanced bodysuit that grants him superhuman abilities. This suit allows Ghost to become either invisible or intangible at will, although not both at the same time.
Yeah.
So, do you guys care?
No.
I mean, yeah, I don't care that much about the characters to get that. I mean, go for it.
Yeah, what is it? Hannah John Kamen.
Yeah, I'm looking. Right now.
She's going to be in Ready Player One. She's going to be the new Tomb Raider.
Oh, ew! I don't like her already.
And she's on the show Killjoys on Sci-Fi Channel. She's also been in a couple episodes of Black Mirror. So.
She'll never be on an episode of World Class Bullshit.
She was in Star Wars The Force Awakens as well. She was First Order Officer.
Fuck her. Fuck her and her stupid ass. Fuck Ant-Man and the Wasp. Fuck Marvel. Okay, I take that back. Fuck Marvel Comics. Fuck the MCU's cool still. So, I can't
She's
go that
alright
far.
looking. Not great, but she's okay.
The only reason they redesigned Laura Croft is to make her less offensive. So what they did is they made her boobs smaller. You can raid tombs and be a triple D. It's kind of fucked up that, women with big boobs don't get the respect they deserve in entertainment.
God damn it! And that's a fucking problem in Hollywood right now, motherfucker. We need chicks with big boobs. That's exactly what this world needs right now. Chicks with giant tits helping America.
Christina Hendricks should be making movies not like Bad Santa.
Hand over fist or whatever.
She should just be in tons of box office hits and winning Oscars and everything. Like Christina Hendricks, you
could fit like 3 or 4 Oscars between her tits right now. Like you could totally do that.
Yes, you could.
One of my faces. Oh.
Even better.
Yeah, it is even better because it's my face. I have a theory, though, about this character played by Hannah John Kamen. My theory is that they are hired by a third party to infiltrate the Pym laboratory, and I would like it to be Justin Hammer trying to leverage a comeback in the tech world after the debacle of Iron Man 2. So it's a huge chance of not happening, but that's where I'd like it to go. That's just my guess as a fan.
Yeah, I mean that would be really cool, but I doubt they would do that because it's too complicated and it makes too much sense.
Cool.
It's too cool, yeah.
Now, our next piece of news. Would you like to hear about something? They're both about the Justice League. Would you like to hear about Joss Whedon and the Justice League, or would you like to hear about the Justice League film that never was?
Joss Whedon, because the Justice League film that never was just makes me sad.
Well, I'm going to tell you
really?
Next then. Yeah. So anyway, Joss Whedon will not receive directing credit for this movie. Zack Snyder will receive the sole directing credit, while Joss Whedon will receive a screenplay credit.
Yeah, but I'm sure Joss Whedon still gets that fucking money though. So what does it matter?
Oh, I know, but I'm really sticking by this whole movie as a clusterfuck that.
Oh yeah,
they're just begging works.
Oh yeah. It's been a fucking train on fire since the beginning, you know.
Yeah. I'm just anxious to see how bad it is.
That's gonna be a movie I'm probably gonna see like really fucking drunk. Like I'm gonna get in the theater with my flask and just start like just knocking them back until like I can't feel my legs anymore.
Don't get too drunk because you have to drive home and review the movie with us that night.
I'll get an Uber. I'll be fine.
All right, cool. Then just be able to.
I will. Yeah,
I don't care if you puke.
I just want to be nice and white girl wasted for Dion though.
That's right. You can't not do that. You have to get your ass together and boom.
That's how it works. So that's pretty much that. Let's talk about the Justice League film that never was, though. So Dion, get a tissue and be prepared to cry, because this sounds like it could have been awesome.
I know.
So, Justice League Mortal director George Miller's unmade DC film would have featured a huge showdown between Superman and Wonder Woman, according to Jay Baruchel. In an interview with the MTV podcast Happy, Sad, Confused, Baruchel, who was set to star as Maxwell Lord in the movie, shared a few new details about what would have taken place in the movie. Baruchel said that the movie, which would have vaguely followed the DC Infinite Crisis event, had Maxwell Lord using his powers of mind control to take over Superman, using him as a weapon against the Justice League. This would have ultimately led to an epic brawl between the Man of Steel and Wonder Woman, with him going so far as to break the Themysciran's wrists in the process. He also describes a particularly epic entrance for the Amazing Amazon, where a Minotaur had a battle axe in his hands and she just rushes him and beheads him. Baruchel said that the movie came very close to being produced, noting that he and the cast held table reads for the script and met in Australia to look through the command center. Additionally, most of the cast had already been fitted for costumes. In addition to Baruchel, the film would have starred DJ Cotrona as Superman, Megan Gale as Wonder Woman, Armie Hammer as Batman, a.k.a. the Lone Ranger, and Adam Brody as the Flash. Thanks to a series of interconnected events, including the 2007-2008 writer's strike and a change in tax legislation in Australia, where the movie was supposed to be filmed, the project was shut down.
That's why you film in Georgia, motherfuckers.
Yeah, mate. That's you get more than just Steve Harvey. You get that really cool thing at the end, made in Georgia.
Exactly.
So, Dion, you're a big comic book fan. How does that plot make you feel?
I love it. I like seeing, Maxwell Lord. He's one of my favorite villains. Seeing, everyone has wanted to see Superman and Wonder Woman fight. I mean, I love that storyline. I love the two of them fighting. Also, her beheading something. Wonder Woman has by far been the most violent character of the Justice League for a long time now, and to actually see someone make that a point in the movie would have been phenomenal. Fucking phenomenal.
This woman that was cast as Wonder Woman, she's an attractive woman, but I actually like Gal Gadot more, so I'm very thankful that she is Wonder Woman as opposed to this chick, Megan Gale. Nick, did you just send me a link of all the Star Wars toys coming out tomorrow?
Yeah, I did.
God damn it, now I'm going to click on it. I'm going to read it on air. I thought we were done with Star Wars.
Well, no, I sent it to you a while ago.
Yeah.
You sent it to me 20 minutes ago. Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
And now they're complaining because I'm using ad blocker. I don't give a fuck about you, IO9. Anyway, listeners, there's so many toys out tomorrow. If you have a low-income job, 2 weeks of pay can cover everything that's coming out tomorrow. So get your 5-star reviews ready.
Yeah, and please, if there are lines or if there aren't any lines, please send us video of that because that'd be hilarious.
I'll send anyone if somebody sends me video. Well, they couldn't do it because this episode won't be out in time. Damn it! I was about to say, if you do this for The Last Jedi, if somebody goes while people are in line and spoils shit for me while wearing while carrying a sign talking about our podcast, I'll send you a free T-shirt and multiple other free gifts. Just do that for me, and I will send you free shit.
But there has to be video evidence of this happening.
Yes. You can't just say, hey, I ran up to Mark Hamill and kicked him in the balls and said world-class bullshitters rules. Like, I just don't believe that. You would never hit that man. He's a fucking legend.
He's a saint, sir.
I do like Mark Hamill. One last piece of news from me, and then we'll give it over to Kendo Slice there. Marvel's Inhumans. You guys have heard of this show, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It comes out, I believe, tomorrow. And, it got shit reviews. IGN gave it a 4.0, which is bad. It says Marvel's Inhumans joins the Iron Fist in the MCU's Dud Club.
Ooh.
Damn.
And here's the verdict. Inhumans is bad from the top to bottom. Try as it might, the show does not live up to the Marvel brand. It is most definitely not worth seeing in IMAX, and I wouldn't even recommend it catching it on TV either. I knew this looked like shit. And,
hold on, why the fuck is it in IMAX?
Money.
It's like shooting in 8K. Nobody's ever gonna fucking see that much resolution. Why are you shooting that high?
Phil will know.
Go fuck yourself, Phil.
With his Xbox One X and his 89 teraflops.
11 billion
teraflops.
Nintendo Switches.
11.
Yeah. Dude, Kendo pulled he ribbed Phil on air last night and Phil didn't even catch it. It was awesome.
and that's how thick his skull is.
I don't remember doing that.
Dude, when we were talking about video games, you said something about how something sold 100 billion units.
Oh.
Just randomly.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Go me.
Oh my god.
Dude, you're much more vicious than Dustin. And a lot less rapey, so good job.
That's good.
Yeah. I feel safe with Kendo Slice around. No one's going to try to rape my non-existent girlfriend.
No.
Good. So that is my news. Kendo, you had a couple pieces.
Yes. The first one I got, American Sniper. I'm sure most of us probably saw that movie, and it was a pretty good movie. I mean, anytime you show a guy blowing away Iraqis, how bad can it be? So I guess, apparently, an Egyptian director saw the movie and hated it so much because of the way it portrayed the bad guy in the movie. Go figure, an American war movie portraying the enemy as bad guys. So he's making his own version of American Sniper, except for it's called Iraqi Sniper. And it's going to tell a compassionate story about the mysterious Arabic villain Mustafa from American Sniper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with this. I mean, he's gonna waste his own money on making his own movie. Good for him. Nobody's gonna watch it because nobody was gonna care that much. It's just gonna it's not really gonna change anything. So
well. He says that in Iraqi Sniper, Mustafa will be the hero, and that whereas American Sniper was a pro-war movie, he's trying to make an anti-war movie. I personally did not get any pro-war message from American Sniper.
No, I didn't either. It was just a guy doing a job.
Yeah.
And he was really good at it, and he kept having to go back all the time, but
Yeah, and then the whole mental breakdown and seeing your buddies die and everything, that was such a positive spin. I don't know what fucking movie this guy watched.
Yeah, that's the catch. Well, I mean, it's one of those things. You have to, when you think of movies as art, they're all interpreted differently. Everybody has their own thing they pull from their favorite movies and all kinds of stuff like that. That's a thing. And he pulled this from. It's a fucking it's a movie that's against Iraqis, against their people, against what they stood for, and this, that, and the other. And this guy is, standing on his fucking pedestal thinking that, they were trying to mess with us and it's bad, and, I'm going to do something different and make a hero story. So
I predicted flopping just about everywhere except for in Darkistan.
Or they won't be allowed to watch it.
Yeah, they won't be able to watch the movie anyway.
Where somebody's going to bomb the theater anyways. What the fuck does it matter?
Yeah. So,
the only theater, it's like, oh, somebody bombed the last theater. Oh.
Yeah. It's going to be very popular in huts across Arabia.
Dude, I want to have a T-shirt that says "It Huts Across Arabia." Remember Hands Across America, Kendo?
Yes, I do.
That movie's going to make 3 chickens, 2 goats, and a mule.
Sala would be proud.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see it, just to see what what he does with it, just to watch it. But I doubt it's going to be anything like fucking amazing or spectacular anyway. So
there will probably be some critics that come out and give it like the greatest movie of all time, just because they're fucking American-hating pieces of shit.
Oh God,
dude, you know it's going to be on Netflix, and they're going to put it in your recommended view.
Jesus, they're going to email you about it and everything. It's like, hey, something you might like. It's like, no, go fuck yourself, Netflix.
No, Netflix, what I might like is for you to bring back Beverly Hills Cop and Fletch. Just saying. Those can't be that expensive to license.
Yeah, and Psych, motherfucker. That was on there for a long goddamn time. You took it away from me!
Yeah, like, put back some classic... Like, can I love Police Academy 1, but can I have all of them? I don't think Mission to Moscow or Mission Miami Beach is expensive to get on there. Like, don't go to lunch for one day, read Hastings, and you can get us all the Police Academy movies?
Yeah. Here's an idea. Don't spend $7 billion on bullshit fucking TV shows. How about you take that money and actually get content we want? And have it for longer than a fucking month.
Yeah, when Back to the Future hit, I was pumped. And then it was gone before you knew it was there.
Yeah, like, that's beyond idiotic, and like, that's why I still love physical media, and it's still a thing, because I know people these days are lazy fucks, and you have to get up your couch and put the disc in and, wait for it to load and go through the menus and everything, but at least you get to watch a movie on your own terms when you want to.
Well, that's why I'll stick with Hulu and sing the praises of 11/22/63 and all that good shit.
Exactly.
What else you got, Kendo? Oh my God! Somebody just sent me the link to the prices of all these Star Wars toys. Jesus Christ!
The next piece of news comes from the remake category. There is a all-female Lord of the Flies remake being planned.
Is it a porno?
No.
I'm about to say I've seen this before.
That would be Lord of the Thighs. Yes.
Oh.
But no. It's so it says they're making another Lord of the Flies movie, but with one big twist. This time it will be a group of girls straying on the island, not boys. I guarantee you, they never get off that island. They'll be too busy being catty and bitching at each other.
Hold on. This sounds familiar. What does this remind me of?
I can't remember, Nick. I want to say a little bit more recognizable franchise. They tried it, and I can't for the life of me remember.
Yeah, what happened to them again with that whole thing of gender swapping? I forget what happened with them at all.
I'm sure it'll work out fine.
It was commercially successful and won many awards. Oh wait, no, it didn't.
Yes, it won every Oscar. It won Oscars for drama, musical, everything.
For makeup effects and CG, and for horror and sci-fi and comedy.
Do you realize that dead directors that had won the Oscar rose from the grave to give it to Paul Feig just for how great he was? Like,
I know, it was amazing to watch on TV.
Yeah, I shed a couple tears. I stood up in my room and I applauded the television because it was such a tour de force, an achievement for feminism. Like, I am proud. I'm a proud American to know that film was made on the hallowed grounds of this country. I'm done.
I know. That was really forced there. Holy shit. Damn. Yeah. Obviously,
you started, I'll finish it.
Obviously, Hollywood didn't fucking learn yet, and they're still making the same goddamn mistakes, so, oh well.
Yeah. It talks about how there was 2 Lord of the Flies movies, 63 and 90, both were based off a book written by William Goulding in 1954. It says, interesting to note that the author who died in 1993 said an all-female version of Lord of the Flies would never work. He's not wrong. He goes on to say some other things, but here's the best part. Here's my favorite part of this whole thing. So it's an all-female cast, everything to do with its woman. And the quote from the director, we want to do a very faithful but contemporized adaptation of the book, but our idea was to do it with all girls rather than boys. Writer and director of the upcoming film, David Siegel, told Deadline. So it's going to be an all-female movie, but they're having a man write it and direct it.
It's just, that's the hot flavor of the month right now. All female something. The only time a female-led movie's worked in the last decade was fucking Wonder Woman.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for that female-led, like, Ocean's 18 bullshit or whatever they're doing. Like, I'm waiting for that thing. You know?
Ocean's 8?
Yeah.
That's a real thing. They're filming it as we speak.
Okay, I didn't know if it was I didn't know if it was done or they're waiting for it to release. So okay, so they're filming it. Yeah, I want to see that fucking hot mess. Jeez. A bunch of women trying to plan something together and rob a bank? Come the fuck on. All of us at least all of us have been around women. Have you ever asked them, what do you want to eat? And, like, that question never gets fucking answered, ever.
Well, Dion knows that one firsthand.
Yeah. Like, Dion, I'm sure you asked him, like, where do you want to go eat? And then, like, it's an hour and a half conversation. It was like, all right, I guess we're going to McDonald's again. Like, I'm sure something like that happens. Because, I don't know. I
just think it's a dumb trend because it's politicized. It's not a natural, organic thing. Like, in the 80s when you had all those sword and sorcery movies, which I'm not even a fan of, but they were successful. They were in high demand. People kept making them because people kept paying to see them. I'm not trying to sound like the asshole here, but I'm going to bring up the facts. With the exception of Wonder Woman, all these female-led movies don't make money. And it's not, let me rephrase that. All these all-female reinterpretations, like Girls' Night, which was a female version of The Hangover, didn't work. But then you have something like Pitch Perfect, which is an original movie, and that is on its third movie. So clearly, you can make a movie with the female audience in mind, but you can't take something established, make it all women, and expect it to work.
Yeah, I mean, because that's just fucking lazy storytelling, lazy filmmaking, and this is Hollywood being lazy in general. Is taking an established idea in a franchise, Ghostbusters, and then you're being like, okay, what can we do different? Oh yeah, we'll just make it female instead of doing what you should have done and fucking make a passing the torch movie, and then you would have had another 10, 20 movies with it.
Yeah. That's why I get so mad. Not because it's like I dislike women or something. It's, this is a dumb fucking idea.
Yeah, exactly. If they had done the thing with the younger guys or younger, even if it was just a younger group of kids and you had like 2 women, 2 guys, like that would have been fine. That would have been entirely fine. You have 2 women, 2 guys. Maybe they're the sons and daughters of the Ghostbusters, and they're coming in and take over and passing the torch. All the others died, so the new kids have to come step up, and then you have their story. Then you have their story for the next 10 years at least. And there's new toys, new stuff, TV shows, more movies. Like, you could have done a whole goddamn thing with them, but no, you did the dumb thing, Sony.
You got to shoot your bad guy in the dick.
Yeah. Come the fuck on.
Yeah. I got a video coming out on Monday about how entertainment's too politicized and how people are starting to turn away. The VMAs were this past week. They had the lowest viewership ever. The Oscars were like an 9-year low, excuse me.
Yeah, even...
we had the worst weekend box office since 9/11. Like, people just are...
Yeah, even the article I tagged you in today was like, what? The studios missed out on, $4 billion this summer with summer sales tickets just going down.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is that you not every movie has to be an event. I remember, fucking like even 5 or 10 years ago when, you had the little crappy movies, like dramas that came out, the chick flicks, the shitty horror movies, things that were at least fun to watch. They weren't good, but they were fun to watch. You went with your friends to the movies and had a good time. Not everything was an event. The event movies were like, the holiday movies, like, Valentine's Day, you had some shitty love story. You had the horror movies in October. You had the Christmas movies, then you had the summer blockbusters. Like July 4th weekend was it. But now it's like every weekend has to be like the greatest movie ever made and the greatest story ever told. But nobody wants to put that much time and effort into going to the movies every fucking weekend.
Yeah, I'd love to go every weekend, but there's just not anything I'm interested in. Like that Bruce Lee movie, what's that new one called? Birth of the Dragon?
Yeah.
He's not even the main character.
What the?
Yeah.
It's a WWE movie, so you gotta remember who's making the goddamn.
Oh, okay, all right.
Vince McMahon, damn it!
I mean, I do take that into account because anything that WWE puts their name on nowadays is garbage. including their sacred network. But it's Bruce Lee, man. Bruce Lee was the fucking baddest dude on the planet. Even in death, he's still better than most people. But they fucked it up somehow so bad.
Yeah, it's really sad. They have they have all the money and all the resources in the world, and they can't do anything fucking right. Like, come on,
Jeff.
Well,
going back to what you were talking about, like with the all female thing, I looked it up. You said girls' night. It's rough night. It's the
okay.
So I looked up the numbers, and so their production budget was $20 million, and they made 22 domestically. They picked up 24 on the worldwide. So worldwide, they made $46 million on Rough Night. But compare it to The Hangover, the actual movie of it, its production budget was $35 million. It made 277 domestically. Worldwide, 406. Worldwide, counting the foreign, was 467.5. So it made 10 times as much money as Rough Night did.
Jeez.
So that's everything you need to know about how this works.
Well, no, and again, remember, Bridesmaids made a lot of money too. I know it didn't make as much as The Hangover, but again, if it's more of an original fucking, like, you just doing remakes, and here's a twist, it's all women. You know, Bridesmaids is an original thing. Kristen Wiig was pretty much a hot commodity, and Michelle McCarthy.
Michelle McCarthy? Is that Melissa's more attractive and talented sister?
That's how much she matters, man. Her name doesn't really matter that much, but you know, it's not just, you know, hey, you know, women make money in movies. Do original shit. Don't just be like, oh, well, we're just gonna do the same movie, and then it's all girls, guys. One, that's stupid, and two, we already know how the fucking movie goes. Why would we go see it again just because it has women in it?
Yeah, I mean, Showgirls was an all-woman, you know, type thing. It was an original idea, and it holds the record for highest, you know, making movie that was rated NC-17. So there you go.
Yeah, Showgirls also had that weird gay redheaded guy that was doing the hip thrust thing the whole time.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, and it lost $25 million, but that's not the point. The point is, you can have an original idea that's a female-led cast, and you can set records.
About strippers even. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's the record holder for the highest-grossing movie rated NC-17.
It deserves that record. I've seen that movie halfway through once. It's bad.
Yeah, it is awful.
Yeah, it's not really good at all.
Yeah, but I guess Hollywood's going to learn their lesson eventually.
Once again, like if these things quit making money, they will learn their lesson.
God damn it, Hollywood, learn your lesson.
And if you guys need to give your money to the independent crowd, because we need it real bad, and we'll make better stuff. I swear. Please give us your money.
I agree.
Nick, if they won't, we'll just go out and make it ourselves. Rob every bank in America.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, and that's why. I mean, yeah, the independent stuff is it's more daunting because you have less people, less resources, but you can literally do whatever you want. So
I don't even need it to be like indie stuff. I just need like a good movie. It can be like Wonder Woman wasn't original. It was essentially Captain America in a dress and wig, but it was still a good movie because it was not politicized. And I guess maybe I think a lot of people thought it was going to be one thing and it was something else, so people kind of elevated it as being so great. It's just maybe it's just like, well, it was better than our expectations, so let's be excited.
Right. No, I think that's definitely the case. I mean, you see that with so many movies, especially now with how fragile that blockbuster bubble is. I think that was 100% the case.
Yeah, and it looks like it's bursting. It looks like it's on its way to like tumbling down right now because, you know, even with the numbers that Jeff has put up, you know, like worst weekend since 9/11 and things like that. Like, I mean, it's happening, you know, right now. It's what is 2018 going to bring? Like, how's that going to work out when we have blockbuster movie coming out every week for that whole year?
I'm going to laugh because I'm not going to go to the theaters very often. And
Dude.
people are just going to be like, oh, no one's making any money.
Dude, like the thing is that, you know, I think next year Avengers ends, correct? Like we're having 3 and 4 coming out, Avengers 3 and 4 coming out next year, or?
Just 3.
Just 3, okay. So we're getting to the end of that, and then DC's putting all of their fucking eggs into the comic book basket. At the end of Marvel's thing, at the end of this whole process, they're going to be held holding, you know, a giant bag of dicks and being like, we fucked up, and losing a lot of money in the process. Like, it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, because I'm take it from the guy who loves fucking comic books. I'm just getting tired. Like, I can see this wave. But the thing is, I don't want him to go away. I just want him to take the turn like Logan. You know how Logan was a serious R-rated drama that had superhero elements?
It was so good, man. I really love that movie.
Let's get less cookie cutter and let's get more original and unique. We can get Logan's. Deadpool was different and fun.
Yeah, and I mean with Logan, there wasn't like this world-ending bad guy. It was just like this guy wanted this little girl to experiment on and shit like that, and Logan was like, no, you're not taking her. I'm going to protect her with every like last breath of my body, kind of thing. And it was a really simple movie and a really simple story. That's what it was.
Well acted too, and something we've been waiting for 17 years at this point.
Yeah, and I think the execution was amazing on it. I loved it so much. I really want to watch the black and white noir version, see what if there's a difference in the way I perceive it, anyways. Like I need to go buy it actually.
Well, we'll watch it when I come visit you, because unless it's on Black Friday for real cheap, I like Logan. I gave it a good score. But I don't need to own it. Plus, it's such a down ending. I don't want. I want to imagine Wolverine young and spry and youngish. Okay, I want him to be like still cool and kicking ass. I felt really depressed at the end of that fucking movie.
Well, I mean, like the whole movie was depressing, and I liked it because everything in the X-Men universe has always been like somewhat like chipper and being like, we're the good guys. We got to kill the bad guys like all the time. It's like, and this was just like, we're just trying to survive, man. We just want to like keep moving on and just get that boat so we can be out on the ocean and enjoy the rest of our lives, which will be like 2 months.
Well, see, the X-Men is the perfect way that you can have political messages in your entertainment.
Exactly.
Use it as an allegory for racism or homophobia or any other form of thing, and you want to use it as a platform. Tell a story about a mutant, whatever. Have the reader sympathize, not beat him over the head with "you're a fascist," blah blah blah, a sexist if you don't buy this crap. It's like, Jesus Christ, people.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that was very complimentary, Jeff.
You're welcome, Kendo. I want to make you feel like you're part of the group.
Yeah, no, I mean, call me a fascist sexist. That's very polite.
Well, I know how to get brownie points with you. No, but you use the X-Men, use those things. You can have that. See, I think that's where you could save the genre. If you create some deep, thoughtful, philosophical stuff and take out the stupidity of Zack Snyder and
that makes way too much sense. Ain't no point even finishing that. This fucking DC's so goddamn stupid. Oh, he's not doing the movie, but we're going to give him sole directing credit.
Jeff said the magical word.
Yeah, okay. Okay, DC. Just hurry up and blow your own brains out, please.
It's going to happen. With the amount of money they're going to lose here coming up, watch. It's going to happen.
Well, the fucked up part was we're only... Like, 10 years ago, we were waiting on the release of The Dark Knight, where DC was the fucking predominant source in comic book entertainment. Like, it won an Oscar.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, Dark Knight was like DC's Logan, in a way.
It's bigger, dude. The Dark Knight made $1 billion.
Well, no, exactly. But it's in that vein. Like, it was in the realm of realism, a little bit more realistic. Logan was somewhat realistic in our universe, and plus you had they were great movies, and that's what happened. Now, when you have this shit where it's like you're in just their universe the whole time and you're seeing everything that way, I think that's a problem now. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah, and the people still want the good stuff, but the producers don't. I don't know. Kenda, did you have any more news?
No, that was it.
Wait, did you have anything? Did you have something on it?
Oh yeah, it was just the only reason why that caught my attention is because it was a official statement essentially put out by the president of the World Clown Association, saying that it will not affect the clown market, which I found entertaining. That there's an actual World Clown Association. Makes me think that like maybe somewhere like the clowns are like unionized and they walk up to each other and like the Brotherhood of Clowns, local 642.
Local 642. Well, apparently, like on their website, you can get membership, and there's also membership and insurance.
Oh, nice.
All you can get. So I mean,
so it's like a union.
Yeah. So in case you touch a kid, little too much, they have you covered. Or in case you get your nose ripped off, they got you covered. So you're good.
It's good. But, I just imagine seeing a bunch of clowns, like, hanging out at like, a bar. It's like, oh, yeah, dude, I'm local 643. Oh, nice to meet you, brother. 1825 local.
Yeah, it's like, hey, man, do a trick. It's like, no, man, I'm off the clock. I already worked my 40 hours this week. If I work another hour, I got it's overtime then. I can't do that, man. Yeah. I can't juggle right now, right? I can't juggle, dude. Can't do tricks, can't do nothing.
And then they also have like teamsters that drive the clown cars for them.
Oh, Jesus!
They fucking haul around and shit. That'd be great.
Like 18 guys in the Yaris, man.
Yeah. You just hear the beep, beep, beep going down, like, it's the jingling going down the road, and there's like a fucking grubby looking teamster driving this little car with all these clowns in the back of it.
When we make a World Class Bullshitter skit show, that'll be one of the first skits we film. That is fucking awesome.
Yeah, we're copywriting that shit right now. So if any of you motherfuckers listening end up making something like that and we find out, I will fuck you up for stealing our idea, you unoriginal cocksucker.
Are you Fujiyama?
Yes, I am. Who are you?
Oh, my God. Oh, man.
Oh, I watched a documentary about VHS. It's called VHS Massacre, Nick.
Yeah.
And they talk about the Room and Samurai Cop back-to-back.
Awesome.
And they interview Greg Sestero.
Ooh, testosterone himself.
Yeah, and Juliette Danielle, and she goes on about how she has embraced the movie even though she was embarrassed about it when it came out.
I told you guys the story about how, like, her first day on set, she had to, like, get her clothes off and get fucked by Tommy Wiseau on camera.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so it was like her very first acting gig ever, and it was like, welcome to the world of Hollywood. Now you're going to have this guy pretend to thrust into you and bang into your belly button.
Kind of reminds
Didn't you see those puffy nipples? I would have been all over that.
Dude.
The big bulging neck vein.
Yeah, she was like 18.
Oh, but dude, if that's 18-year-old Juliette Danielle, that is some bad aging.
Oh, dude, if she was 18, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, she was like 18, man.
Are you, dude? Oh my God, she looked like 28 in that fucking movie. What the hell happened?
Jesus, she
I'm
probably
gonna Google that right now.
She looks like she'll have to look like a fucking mummy today.
Yeah, what to say? I was like, what went wrong with your life that you look like that at 18?
Jeff, where did you see this documentary? Oh, she was older than 18. She was born in 1980, so she was 23.
Yeah, she was 23.
Okay.
But yes,
I saw that documentary on Amazon.
Oh shit! Somebody might should have added that to the watch list.
Oh, I try not to touch the watch list because it's not my Amazon, but
I'm sure whoever it gives you the Amazon would let you put stuff on the watch list.
Oh my God! There's even an education section on the World Clown Association website. General education, balloons, business tips, caring.
So it's like a real clown college.
Caring clowning, face painting, fun clown videos, funny folks, juggling, magic, makeup, parade, props, skits, storytelling, jokes, and games. Like, that's the list.
Guys, I got a picture that's going to make you so happy.
Oh, God.
Aha! It is
Dion,
on here.
make sure you look at this.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
What the hell?
Do you know those people?
Yes, I do know those people.
Thank God.
Oh, shit. It's the cast of The Room.
There's Claudette. She's still alive.
I thought she had. She definitely had breast cancer.
I was just saying, she definitely had cancer.
Look at Denny. He looks like he's going to rape you in an alley.
Man. Like,
he still looks retarded.
I love when the movie's supposed to be like I don't know, 16 or something, or 18. Yeah, it's like, and now in this picture he looks like 48.
Well,
Johnny tried to adopt him.
All the abuse
I literally cannot
about
get
being
over the
retarded
fact.
in that movie probably aged him.
Fucking Denny, man. He looks like he's about to ask us if we want an extra shot of espresso.
Yeah,
he looks like Toph.
He looks like he's about to say, "Show me your boobs, sweetheart." Like he's gonna do that.
I enjoy the fact that they have a framed spoon that they're holding.
That's a spork, sir.
Oh, yeah, spork.
What are the chocolates for? Like, what the hell are the chocolates for?
But chocolate is the language, or the food of love, or whatever he says.
Oh, no, you're right.
Because that's Mike and Michelle. She actually looks exactly the same.
Yeah, she does. She still looks good. He looks like a really lame-ass version of, like, Guy Fieri.
Wow. He got kicked out of Flavor Town.
Good, because he's a douchebag.
I'm Guy Fieri. Let me get a piece of this.
That's magic. That's fire, Daddy.
That's great, bro. I hate how he wears his sunglasses, like flips them up over the back of his head, over his ears. Every time if I saw him, I would just fucking run up and punch him right where his nose is supposed to be.
No. The thing I hate with sunglasses is, like, I've seen a guy actually fold them and then put them on the back of his shirt. Like, he folds them and puts them on the back of his shirt. You know how people will fold them and put them on the front of their shirt, just like, they're there for you to put on wherever you need them.
Yeah,
I've seen somebody fold them like fucking fold glasses and put them on, like, hang them on the back of their shirt.
Well, instead of taking mine off and putting them on the bill of my hat, like, a normal person, I'm just going to fold them up and hang them off the back little thing of the hat where the snap is.
Exactly. It's like, that's so easy for somebody to just go, like, just take it off of your shirt and just, like, run away with it or walk away with it. Like, that's idiotic.
That and it looks stupid.
It does. Because then you know what you're gonna do. You're gonna be like, "Where are my glasses? Who took them?" Like, you're gonna be that guy for a minute.
Plus, you have to, like, reach over the back of you like you're unsheathing a sword to take your sunglasses back out. It's like so inconvenient.
or pulling out an arrow from your quill.
Yeah. So much convenience to have them hang on the front of your shirt.
I have a quick question for you.
So,
do you want to get her? We can get her for an interview. Should we get her for real?
Yes.
Yeah. Why not,
Lisa
dude?
from
Why
the room?
not?
Yes. Why?
Let me write that down.
Why did you even ask?
I mean, it's one of those things where, like, the interview will be all in 5 minutes. You'll get pissed off and then, like, hang out. But it'll be funny though.
That'd be worth it.
I don't know. We're fans of the movie, and we probably won't piss her off that bad. And I guarantee there's nothing we could ask her that she's probably hasn't been asked yet. Challenge accepted.
Does the carpet match the drapes? That's what I'd ask first off. No, I'm just joking. I'd say that for the end.
Be like,
because I at least want to get some usable audio.
I'd be like, during the sex scenes, was Tommy Wiseau erect and, like, completely naked? And if so, how fucking awkward was that?
And also, did he bruise your belly button?
Was it like fucking Skeletor?
Oh my god! Well, when is this picture from, though?
2004. Oh wait,
oh
no!
my
I
God.
thought you meant like the actual movie. When is this picture from, brother?
No.
Brother Nero, it is from.
Dion. Apparently, Mark, Greg Sestero.
Yeah.
He fucking models for stock photos.
Yeah, dude. He was
What?
he was the brawny man for a while.
Look at this! No, those Shutterstock images you can buy for like $99?
Yeah.
He's the fucking doctor in one of them.
No
Hold on.
way.
Oh wait, hold on. I have to fucking zoom in on this shit. Hold on. There he is. I see it with that fucking
Oh my!
that 1991 haircut. My God.
God, this guy's so cool.
One of the people in the comments, dude, Dion, don't laugh too hard. He ended up in a hospital on Guerrero Street.
That's where he did his residency.
Oh my God. That's the look of a man who's clearly happy with his sex life.
He takes his Viagra. He's good to go.
Oh God!
Oh my God!
That cunt from last week is probably so upset right now. I'm happy if he is.
I mean, was he in any Cialis commercials or anything?
I mean, do you really want me to look up Greg
No,
Sestero's
I don't. I
filmography?
really don't.
I mean, because I can stop looking at pictures of Juliette Danielle from The Trouble with Barry, Tempest Fugit, and Ghost Shark 2, Urban Jaws. We should start tweeting her daily. Can we interview you for our podcast? Listeners, contact Juliette Danielle and tell her to go on World Class Bullshitters. We're not going to make fun of her. We have legitimate questions for her.
Oh yeah. I will treat this like a very professional thing.
Yeah, I will too. I will write down my questions, and I will ask my questions, and I will tell her thank you afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's stop the news, and let's get into our... Well, for that main feature, we have one other thing we're going to talk about. Kendo, you and I have watched an incredibly amazing series on Amazon titled The Tick.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, The Tick was a 1980s comic book, which was adapted into a 1990s cartoon, which a lot of us grew up with. In the early 2000s, Patrick Warburton played the character, and now in 2017, Peter Safranowicz plays the Tick, and I gotta say, in my opinion, this is the best superhero adaptation possibly ever. It's that good.
Yeah, I was completely locked in, and the best part is the episodes are only like 26, 28 minutes long, so it goes by really quick. There's not a whole lot of like dragging and filler put into it. It's literally, here's what's happening for 5, 6, 7 minutes, boom, now we're on to the next thing, now we're on to the next thing, now we're on to the next thing. And
yeah, it was incredible how they played off at the beginning, like, is the Tick real or is Arthur crazy?
Right.
Yeah. I loved how when he got arrested, Arthur did, and like they were asking him because he takes his 28th Amendment right, which means I'm a superhero. I can't give up my identity or whatever it was. And they're like, "So what's your name?" And he's like, "Arthur." He goes, "Your superhero name is Arthur." And he's like, "Yeah."
That show was just the only thing that bothered me is that there were only 6 episodes.
Yeah, I read up on it. So they filmed the pilot and they released the pilot like a year ago or something crazy like that. It got enough like love that they put out the other 5 episodes, but they've got 12 in total, and they're saving 7 through 12 for the beginning, I think, of next year. So in like 4 or 5, 6 months.
Well, there's only one glaring flaw, but they mentioned it in the show. The Tick's costume changes.
Oh.
But it's funny because Arthur goes, "You look different," and the Tick just blows him off and keeps talking. So at least the show acknowledges that his costume changed, but it's not a deal breaker. It did look better when he first appeared, but it still looks pretty cool now.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing that's really great about the show is the dialogue. Just the interactions between the Tick and everybody else. Because like,
oh my god,
they'll say things and he'll just like respond in like absurd, complete, naive ways.
Hello, old chum. I can't really. The thing is, it sounds like I'm excited for the show, but I don't want to talk about it because I want everyone to experience how good the show is. So instead of Kendo and I sitting here and telling you all the great plot points and spoilers and all this shit, you really do need to get yourself either an Amazon subscription or you just need to watch it somehow online. I don't know, and I don't care how you watch it, but you do need to watch it because The Tick is legitimately one of the best. I think it's the best original Amazon series ever. One of the best streaming shows I've ever seen, and the best superhero streaming show. I mean, I think it's better than The Defenders, all that stuff combined. Even Daredevil. I love Daredevil, but I was so invested in The Tick, and I didn't even like The Tick as a kid. This show is so well done on every level. Every character is amazing. Not just like the Tick and Arthur and a couple other ones. Everybody. Even the fucking sidekick, or the side characters, the guy that runs the convenience store, his mother, everybody's just, it's the perfect superhero show. And do yourself a favor, you need to watch it right now. Dion, watch it right now.
Yeah. As soon as you guys get done listening to this episode of World Class Bullshitters, go watch The Tick. It's fun, it's funny, it's got action, and it's absurd. It's awesome. And the episode where the Tick meets Arthur's family, I watched that one twice because it was that fun to watch.
Oh, I loved his stepdad.
Yeah.
How are your feet? God, that guy was such a good actor.
Yeah. Pete.
Yeah, was his voice dubbed in the pilot, but then it was his voice on set after that? Because that doesn't match him, you know?
I think so, because like there was a couple times where I could tell like the audio, it seemed off from his like mouth movement, but I just thought it was like my connection. But it could have been that they were dubbing over him talking.
Because Peter Safranowicz, for those who don't know, is the voice of Darth Maul from Star Wars Episode 1. And this guy's British. And I'm not saying British people can't do convincing American accents, but this guy, it's so good and heroic that it doesn't match his face. It'd be like if all of a sudden I spoke fluent French and people would be like, what the fuck happened to Jeff? I don't know. But Peter Safranowicz did such a good job with this that it just blew me away. He's better than Patrick Warburton. He's better than the guy that did the voice on the cartoon. I'm just going to stop singing the praises. I think I might rewatch the series tomorrow after I wake up. So let's get on with the rest of this episode. God, this episode's actually moving pretty quick.
Yeah.
We're almost out of shit to talk about. We're only at the hour and 14-minute mark.
We're being efficient.
Yeah, for that one guy who bitched, we don't get to the point.
Yeah.
When we got to the point, we talked about the tick in fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah.
In 10 seconds. I almost commented back, but I don't want to sound mean, but it's like, the show's always been like this.
Yeah, it's not exactly a new format.
Yeah. Like last week, it was just like, oh, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, we've never changed. Like, that's why the bigger we get, we want to remain true, because all of a sudden, like, if we start doing Let's Plays and other random bullshit, then I feel like we've just ruined the channel.
We get a soundboard, fucking play goofy sounds every time somebody says something, all that stuff. That'd be dumb.
Yeah, if I had the other guys on the podcast, it would be like that. It'd be like a Zoo Crew morning show.
Yeah, we don't want to be fucking PewDiePie or Ray Williams.
I'll take the PewDiePie audience.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
I won't start screaming like, ah! And all that shit in the microphone.
I'll take his fucking subscriber count any day.
Oh, yeah.
Give me his money. What's his name, Felix or something?
Yeah, Swedish.
Yeah.
Did you say Felix Swedish?
Yep, Felix Swedish motherfucker.
Oh, okay, cool, because that's exactly what I thought it sounded like. Right,
Now we got
so
that
let's
mystery
talk... Yeah, I can sleep peacefully tonight. Like, before, I was just walking around aimlessly, not knowing who I was, just like the Tick. Wondering what PewDiePie's last name was. Now I know. Swedish motherfucker. So, last week, James Cameron said some really stupid shit. And we're going to call him out on it this week. To just knock him down a peg. Because I'm not here to defend Wonder Woman or any kind of feminist, politicized entertainment. But James Cameron just sounded like a crotchety old man. And it was kind of like, damn, James, you have lost your, like, grip with reality. The first indicator should have been the fact that you want to make 5 Avatar sequels.
Well, he is 63, so...
But no one wants to see Avatar 2. The first one sucked. It was the fucking gimmick that sold $2 billion.
Yeah, and well, I mean, I think Disney or whatever is putting money to make like the fucking part of their park, you know, Avatar-ish or whatever the hell it is, or whatever the hell.
Every other movies got greenlit was because they're trying to make a park out of this shit.
Yeah, I think it's they're trying to make a franchise out of it so they can make more money off of it in the long term. But it's like, I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter to me, and hasn't it been over 10 years now since the first one?
Almost. It's year 8 this December.
Oh, okay, so they're getting to that tipping point where it's like if you haven't done it in 10 years, you probably don't need to do it ever.
Well, I think the park isn't the Disney park open?
Yeah, it's open right now.
Well,
yeah, because some friends I know went there and went through it. So
I don't like Disney theme parks. I mean, I'm glad I don't have kids because I would not want to take them to this.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I like Universal and Islands of Adventure. It's way the hell more fun.
Yeah, we'd be a Universal family. My kids will watch Looney Tunes, not Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
The food looks okay, though, at this place.
You're looking at the food?
Yeah, exotic taste and flavors of Pandora. This looks like a nice medium rare
what?
steak over a bed of rice.
From what I hear, the alcohol's really good too. Like it's just a bucket of alcohol they give you.
Well, I'd like if that's how you can get me through Disney World happy. Just get me drunk and like
yeah.
Get
him drunk, give him a turkey leg. You won't hear anything out of him.
I want one of those Mickey Mouse ice cream bars. I do. They used to sell those in the store in like the early 90s. I remember eating those as a kid, and those were delicious. I want one of those.
Yeah.
If somebody will send me one in the mail,
yeah,
I'll eat it on camera.
I'm not sure if that'll work.
I know. Well, you can mail ice cream because here in town they have this like it's like a dry ice service. You can mail ice cream.
Dude, you could overnight it if you did it properly. You could probably get it.
If somebody does that, they'll be my favorite.
Oh my god, that'd be so weird. That'd be so weird.
Oh my god, there's like some really famous person that likes our channel, and they mail me like a crate of those frozen. Oh my god, I'm gonna gain like 40 pounds because I'm gonna eat every fucking one in an afternoon. Well, I'll be like, hey, what do you want for dinner? Mickey Mouse ice cream bars.
It's going to come to this point. It's going to get to the point where, like, whenever you see one, like, after you're done with that, whenever you see one in the world, or if you hear that name, you're going to have, like, a fucking Vietnam flashback and start throwing up and, like, punching the wall or something.
That's a risk I'm willing to take, Nick.
That's fine, man.
I want my ice cream bars. Like Billy Kincaid from Spawn. I want my fucking ice cream. It's not going to kill any kids. Okay, I guess I should get on to the main topic now. Die Hard versus Terminator 2 is what we're going to talk about for a little bit tonight, because James Cameron's best film is Terminator 2, and everyone loves to say how it's the greatest action film
I disagree.
of all time.
I think it's Piranha the Spawning. That's what I think.
I only like Piranha 1 over that because of the accidental bush shot, but I'm going to give you a thumbs up for that Piranha reference.
Thank you.
No, the vast majority of people will say that T2 is his best film. And while T2 is a good action film, it's not the best action film. So tonight's main feature is kind of like a great pop culture debate mixed with just some cold, hard facts, aka our opinions on Die Hard being awesome. So we're going to split up into teams. It's going to be, is it Nick and myself versus Kendo and Dion? That's what we agreed upon off air, right?
Yep.
And we're going to talk about which film's better, and hopefully James Cameron hears this so we can tell him how, while you're a good director, James, you're not the best. You've made 2 great movies, and the rest have just been overrated pieces. Well, 3 great movies, and the rest have been overrated pieces of shit. Okay, True Lies isn't shit.
I'm about to say, I was like, really?
let me just put it all out there so I don't get a million comments. The first Terminator, Terminator 2, and Aliens are fucking awesome. Everything, and True Lies is pretty good. Titanic is shit, Avatar is shit, and I don't know if I've ever seen The Deep. So what else has he made? Nothing.
The Deep?
Right?
You mean Abyss?
Abyss, sorry. I haven't seen either of those movies. Isn't there a movie called The Deep?
There is. Abyss is awesome, though.
I've never seen it, so I can't judge it. But I can review Star Wars Episode 8 accurately, just like that Lego website. So, Dion, you and I will have our opening statements for our team. So, why don't you go first and just talk about T2 for a moment. Don't talk about the story or the characters or the action or effects yet. We'll talk about that in depth later on. Just talk about the movie and its impact.
Well, I mean, obviously without the crux of the shit being taken out of my argument there. But no. As far as action movies go, it definitely is one of the best, top 5 best action movies of all time. I mean, outside of the star power in the movie, the momentum it had off of the first movie in the franchise, obviously, the other shit that Jeff just said, it's by far one of the best action movies of all time. And as far as impact, both whether that be at the box office, the way that it changed how movies, and it was one of the trendsetters for the early 90s, Terminator 2, it doesn't need much of an introduction. I mean, you have the leading man, the action itself, the story, and the effects. I mean, those are the fucking cornerstones of a square shaped house, man. I mean, it's a fantastic fucking film. And I have no problem that being his best film, because if your best film is, one of the greatest of its genre by bar none, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, obviously it set the bar so high, all the movies following T2 were fucking dog shit. And that's saying something, where not only was the first movie a great movie, the second movie was, phenomenal. The rest of movies, any movies involving time travel, cyborgs, and apocalypse, you can't think of any movie like that and not think of T2.
Back to the Future is the most popular.
Also, there's a movie called Cyborg.
Yeah, there's one movie better than Terminator 2, and
there's also a movie called Cyborg.
It's a fucking landmark film. My fucking bad.
The like robots and dystopian future. So yeah.
Well, Dion, I do agree that T2 is one of the best action movies, but Die Hard is the best action movie. And to play by my own rules, I won't go too deep into that stuff that I said I don't want to talk about, but Die Hard was a genre-defining film because it took a plot point that's never really been done and made it into, like, a whole genre. Like, after Terminator 2 came out, there were other action-y sci-fi movies, but the phrase Die Hard on a insert verb, or not a verb, a noun, that became a thing. So it's like Die Hard in a mall, Die Hard on a boat, Die Hard on a plane. Like, Die Hard became for the next, 8 years, until 1996, Die Hard became the preeminent action movie template because it was so great. They tried to do it again. They essentially made Under Siege as Die Hard on a boat and Die Hard on a train. Whatever that Passenger 53 or 57, the old Wesley Snipes.
Always
that's Die Hard on an airplane. By the way, Wesley Snipes was on an episode of Miami Vice I watched tonight, and he got the shit beat out of him by Philip Michael Thomas, so it was kind of funny. But anyway, Mallrats 2 was essentially pitched as Die Hard in a mall. My point is, Die Hard basically took the genre and made it its bitch for a long time, longer than Terminator. Terminator went on to was a steep decline. Die Hard, the first one's the best, but there were... it's gone up and down in quality. Terminator 2 was cool, but everything else that followed it was just kind of meh.
Oh, yeah, you had one great sequel. Calm the fuck down. At least we didn't have Jai Courtney. Oh, wait.
Terminator Genesis, baby.
So, okay. Let's go into some plot points and stuff. So, Dion, would you like to tell me why you think Die Hard... No, excuse me. I mean, you can tell me why you think Die Hard's story is better, but tell me why you think T2's story is better than Die Hard's.
Well, obviously, and fuck you for this, James Cameron, but, it's a and obviously both are very multi-layered. Obviously, we'll just get that out of the way. But the layers for Terminator 2 are a lot fucking deeper. I mean, you have the son with no parents, the orphan. I mean, the movie starts out that way. Then you have the heavy opening in terms of the weight of supposedly being the savior of an entire fucking race. Obviously Kendall knows more about that, but then on top of that, you have the what is a human narrative going on throughout the entire fucking movie. And even when you get that far, you go into the weight of being one of the reasons why, how would you feel if you found out that you ended the world? And I mean, to do that within a 2-hour time span is crazy. I mean, Terminator 2 did it so well that it's one of the standards for, when you have different layers going on, that's one of the standard bearers, is if you want to tell multiple storylines, Terminator 2 did it perfectly. And it did it in a way where the film itself wasn't fucking boring. Not to mention, again, to have a kid in a film can be a fucking tax. It can be annoying as shit. There are multiple films that we can all think of where it's like, can I shoot that kid in the head? But this movie, and for a while,
over the top,
John Connor is that kid. And then as the film goes on, you feel for him. You feel what it's like for him to essentially get, his own fucking Terminator and then get attached to it, and then it's gone. You feel for him when, again, he realizes that he treated his mom like shit, and then he's doing everything he can to rectify that. And then he does it. He gets her out, and she fucking blows him off. And
he doesn't treat his mom like shit.
Well, not in the film, but he fucking admits that he hated her and how he should have been the only one to believe her, and he didn't. And then he's like, I had to get you out of there. He's like, I hated her for that. Now come to find out that everything she said is true.
Well, did you say everything you wanted to say about the story?
For now, go ahead.
Well, because I'll agree with you that Terminator's story is very layered, but Die Hard's simplicity is what makes it a better film.
You're not wrong.
Because when you want to get into the layers, that's where you come into the characters, which we'll talk about in a minute, because Die Hard's going to wipe the floor with Terminator in terms of characters.
Oh,
Terminator's
hell
story,
no, bitch.
I wrote this shit down, dude. I wrote this down. Just wait. Look, I like if I gave you the elevator pitch for Die Hard and I gave you the elevator pitch for Terminator, it would read like, one man is trapped in a building with 30 terrorists, and he fights them off one by one. T2's is time-traveling robot comes back to save a boy and fight another time-traveling robot. That one sounds a lot cooler. But where the problem lies is that Terminator is this big, sprawling movie, but not a lot actually happens. It's gunfight, motorcycle chase, gunfight, pseudo-philosophical talks about time travel and humanity, car chase, gunfight. Die Hard has more things going on in it. There's the element of John McClane's coming from New York to California.
Yeah, he's in an area where
literally in the same building.
That's not. But that's not, here's the thing. It's not just him coming to the building, and that's it.
But
Terminator's plot is I'm going to protect John Connor. Things happen, but I'm here to protect him.
Yeah, but I mean that's also the benefit of Die Hard's simplicity. It's like it's in one building. It doesn't need any more than that. That's what it needs.
Yeah, and the fact that more things happen in that one building as opposed to Terminator, which has all of Southern California and parts of Mexico to go to. Like, McClane lands in California, and you learn that he's there for a Christmas party. So there's a whole story about he's there for a Christmas party, and there's a subplot with him and his wife having marital issues and how she has to deal with her having a better job and how he feels inferior and all that stuff. So there's just all that subplot going on right there. Then you got the subplot of Hans Gruber, who's acting like a terrorist. He's really just a criminal who wants to rob them. Then you got the Al Powell story. Then you have the FBI story. There's just so many different stories that come together in that one location.
And still not as many as Terminator 2?
Terminator 2 doesn't have... What stories happen in Terminator 2? Literally, it's Terminator finds John Connor. T-1000 finds John Connor. They go to get Sarah. They go to Mexico to hide out for a night. They fuck up Miles Bennett Dyson's life. They blow up Skynet. They go to the Foundry, and that's it.
No,
I just saw the movie on Saturday,
and I saw it on Friday too. The Terminator gets.
I saw it on Saturday. I saw it more recently. You're wrong, asshole. Fuck you.
You have the war going on. So then John,
you don't see the war.
The war's still going on. They capture
don't see the war. You just hear about the war.
Yeah, right. But you just hear about Al Powell's thing. It's not actively happening. His issue when he shoots the kid. So anyway, the war is still congruently going on. You have the backstory of how they capture a goddamn a Terminator. Then you have two of them get sent back, and then not only is he looking for John Connor, you have a fucking Terminator that's a goddamn detective assassin going after his fucking parents. He's a fucking orphan. He's been getting in trouble stealing shit because his mom's gone. His mom got arrested for fucking trying to blow up some random computer factory. Which in hindsight you're like, that's so. What was she planning? Like, hopefully it's fucking Scott. Like that. That's a whole other question. But she fucking blows up. Then you have Miles Bennett Dyson actively making fucking Skynet based on the Terminator that the fucking CIA stole. And then not only that, they find him. And then within a couple hours, a whole other plot line works out, and it ends up being one of the highlights of the film. I mean, they literally, hey, I'm going to go kill him. I'm not going to kill him. Let's go defeat Skynet. It's like, whoa, what kind of left turn fucking happened here? And it's fantastic. Then, after saving then you had that storyline, they save, what you think they saved the race, and then, we still have this fucking crazy Terminator detective to fucking deal with. So after fighting off the entire fucking force,
first of all, he's more of a sergeant. Did you see his uniform? Come on.
That's true. But he's a badass sergeant. And then he's not
that badass.
Like, oh yeah.
For a guy who can just liquid metal and be anybody he wants to be, it takes him a long fucking time to find the kid, and even in the end, he still gets defeated by older technology. What the fuck?
He disappears for 30 minutes in the film.
Say what now?
Like randomly, there's a 30-minute stretch where he's just not there.
Right.
Like that's why he's not as good a villain as Hans Gruber.
No, I'm not.
I'm
definitely not going to say he's even I at this point can be like, yeah, the T-1000 is as good as Hans Gruber, but he's so menacing. He's gone for 30 minutes, and you're like, holy shit! They still have to deal with this fucking crazy goddamn killer robot. That even though, he's singular, he's chasing after a kid who's been trained in fucking demolitions, and guerrilla warfare. No, his mom did show him some stuff because he's very familiar with the grenade launcher and doing weapons checks. So this kid isn't a fucking complete idiot, and he's being helped by an all-encompassing super fucking computer that's damn near indestructible. So it's not like it's an easy thing.
But the problem with Terminator is all of a sudden it creates time paradoxes. Unlike Die Hard, where you don't have to worry about those things. Because when we talk about Die Hard, we can talk about like, that's true. Because
the thing is that the Terminator has to fail at his job in order for him to come back and save John Connor. The Terminator has to keep failing over and over again for there to be a war, and there to be a John Connor, and there for him to come back. It's an infinite loop of a paradox, because without if John Connor's saved, then they win the war. Then Terminator doesn't come back, and therefore you create a paradox.
Because Terminator doesn't even exist, so wouldn't
Exactly.
they just disappear from time the moment?
Right,
that
but
they
then
blow
again,
Skynet
remember,
and the chips?
they're not going off of just that. I mean, obviously, time travel is a weird thing. I mean, in Star
Whoa,
Trek,
whoa, wait, hold
in
on. I
Star
wanna
Trek, they
correct
create new
myself.
universes. They don't destroy the
No,
current.
I would have corrected myself. They actually don't destroy the chip and the shit until they kill the T-1000. So I will retract.
No,
Oh,
that.
no. That's
T-800.
No. The T-1000 falls into the metal.
Right.
Then Arnold goes, "You need to destroy the chip in the arm," and they throw it in. He goes, "There's one chip left," and he points to his head. Then he drops himself.
Arnold's
in.
a T-800.
So
the T-1000 is looking
No, that's what I said. That once they defeat the T-1000, then they throw in the arm and the chip,
Gotcha.
and then Arnold kills
Gotcha.
himself. That's all I'm saying. So there are other paradox problems that we could probably get into if I wanted to, but I don't because I didn't write it down. But the fact that Die Hard's just the simplicity. But the thing is, the story has got no fat on it, and it's so tight. It's not like it doesn't meander at any point. It's literally, it's laser focused. Everything that happens in that movie makes sense. There's not. Like, there are things in Terminator you could cut out. There are things that you could add that make it better, too. Like, there are multiple cuts at T2. What's your reference point? Are you going with the original, the director's cut, whatever the other extended cut is out there? Like, it's like with Batman v Superman. Unlike Batman v Superman, there is no good cut of the film. But T2, there are things you take in and take out, and that can change your grade of the film. So with Die Hard, it's literally just... It's the simplicity that makes it perfect. Now, let's start talking about the characters, because we can keep going on and on in a circle about the plot of these movies, but we got to talk about the characters in them, because you brought up John Connor a minute ago about how you hate him and then you love him. I never loved him. If there's one flaw to that fucking movie, it's Edward Furlong as John Connor. His squealy-ass voice... Like, the only time I'm cool putting a kid in danger is
whatever happened to
Indiana
his
Jones.
friend? Like, his friend just left him at the arcade, and then that's it.
Well,
the friend runs off to
is,
distract the cop, and then that's when the chase starts. So his friend doesn't like leave. His friend's like, "Hey, man, this kid," and then his friend takes off running.
He's over there, and then the cop pushes him or T-1000 pushes him aside, and that's it.
Right.
What happened though off screen is the kid. His parents find out that he's been hanging out with John Connor, and they send him off to summer camp, which is the show Salute Your Shorts. And if you don't get that reference, you're
goddamn, sir. Goddamn. That's a good fucking reference.
No, but with the characters, let's do a comparison. The main character of Terminator 2 is Arnold Schwarzenegger as the T-800. And the main character of Die Hard is John McClane, played by Bruce Willis.
I mean, actually, the main character of Terminator should be John Connor, but it's not.
No, it's not. It's Arnold, who's the best. He's the best in the film, and he's the best, like, just the most interesting. Because, sorry. Anyway, back to
you okay over there?
Distracted. The Skype thing kept popping up on my screen. I'm trying to read it and talk to you guys at the same time. It's like, what? Anyway,
I think he just gave up.
Characters.
We win.
Yeah, no. Die Hard. If we compare characters from main to secondary to tertiary and on, Die Hard's characters are all deeper and way more developed than their counterparts in T2. Let's just go for an odd example.
T2, the fucking Terminator.
I don't give a shit about the Terminator. Let's talk about the side characters first.
Okay.
Takagi and Holly McClane are more interesting and well-written characters than Janelle and Todd, John Connor's step-parents, and they share about equal screen time. The main female, Hans Gruber, who's the villain of Die Hard versus the T-1000, it's not even a comparison. You admitted that one. You can't even do that. Plus, Die Hard has so many characters that are all developed. The Johnson & Johnson guys from the
Oh
FBI,
my god, I love those guys so much.
They have a backstory. Al Powell has a full backstory. When you talked about me saying, like, they don't show his scene, they don't need to show him shoot the kid. It's about character development. It shows him go from being a cop who lost his gun and his ability to shoot to coming back, and it's a full circle for him just as a character. Hell, even Argyle has more interesting shit than half the characters in T2.
Definitely.
The other people in T2 are just set dressing for the action scenes. Everything is really around the Terminator, John Connor, and Sarah, which are fine, but everyone else is just generic cardboard cutout character. Everybody in the sanitarium there's no one that's interesting. The only character development they give is the guy that licks Sarah Connor's face. Oh my god, so crazy.
Well, they don't. They
fucking
have
Ellis.
You have the doctor who you learn one is a
Dr. Silberman is a different character. Dr. Silberman's established from the first.
Right, but he's still a side character. He's not a main character.
But no, I understand it, but he's not what I would consider psychiatric ward staff. He's a doctor that's on site to evaluate Sarah Connor.
I'm not arguing that. The argument was the development of the side characters. And I'm saying, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't there. You wouldn't let me finish my statement. We're talking about the characters. I said, okay, fine. We'll compare just the people that are in the white coats to the guys in Die Hard that are just the German terrorists. Those guys
are we talking side characters, or are we going to talk all the characters' development?
I'm comparing character to character. I'm taking a Die Hard character and the Terminator equivalent. So, like, Dr. Silberman is less developed than, let's say, Ellis from Die Hard. Ellis has more elements to his character. Dr. Silberman doesn't. And they're about, I'd say, equal in screen time. Okay. Actually, I'd say Ellis has slightly more.
So who would be in equal screen time by that definition to Sarah Connor? It's definitely not Holly, because Holly's not in it.
No, it's not Holly.
Go ahead.
It's not Holly.
Right. So you could say Al Powell, probably?
No, Sarah. The thing is, Terminator has 3 main characters. Die Hard has 1.
Right. But obviously by that logic, the main character ratio to the side character ratio is going to be off automatically because the focus of the movie for Terminator is specifically those 3 characters. Every other side character is not a focus of the movie. Die Hard does a way better job of that. But if we're going to talk about the main characters in the movie, Sarah Connor's fucking character development is definitely farther along than anyone in fucking Die Hard. You have a woman who's
She doesn't develop as a character, though.
She does. She's a horrible mother.
No, her character development happens between parts 1 and 2. Part 1, she's a 19-year-old girl who goes to the shit. In part 2, she's a soldier.
But she learns to do more than just care about John living or dying. She learns about giving a shit about her kid. I mean, because even then
she doesn't really learn about giving a shit about her kid because
she actually apologizes.
Says, why did you come here?
She 100% apologizes.
At the very end, after it's all over.
Yeah, she apologizes to him, and then she acts different around him throughout the rest.
No, she's still erratic because she tries to go kill Miles Benedices by herself, and then
she has a mental breakdown because she realizes she can't just kill people. She's not a Terminator. And then he shows up and she goes, I almost did it. And he goes, no, it's fine. And then they have a fucking moment and she says, I'm sorry. I've been, and then they fucking have a moment and she's completely different. And even so, she goes off on another rant. And fucking John interjects and she fucking shuts the fuck up. Where earlier in the movie, she'd have been like, no. She definitely changes as a character.
That's fine, but like you said, the ratio is off, but that doesn't mean Die Hard doesn't have...
No, I agree with that, but I'm saying if you're going to make the comparison, if we're going to talk about character comparison...
I'm just trying to be fair to Terminator, because Terminator has so many insignificant people that fill space in that movie.
Right. No, I agree, but if you're talking character to character, we have to be able to make that assumption, and that character to character development, the one that fits the greatest... I would say is between Powell and Sarah Connor because, like I said, that ratio is so weird. And in saying that, I think Sarah Connor has a way better character development and a deeper development than...
I disagree because she doesn't really develop as a character. She developed between the movies. She goes from point A to point B in between.
So she's the same mom at the beginning of Terminator 2 than she is at the end. Until
they drop the Terminator in the fucking liquid, and he gives the thumbs up. Are we going to go by part 3 where she didn't change at all and she was a fucking lunatic who died of cancer in Mexico? Are we going to take it that far? Or are we going to do the same thing and say the story ended at number 2?
Well, I mean, we can do the same. I mean, if we're going to talk about sequels, there's plenty of Die Hard sequels we can go off of with that.
That's great, but it doesn't... Here's the thing. The Die Hard sequels... only affect McClane. The quality of those characters, just because Al Powell shows up in part 2, doesn't diminish his character, or his achievements, or his motivations. John Connor becomes actively dumber through the movies. Right. McClane just becomes crotchety. Jack McClane,
he's a whole different character, especially by 3.
I know.
The guy that's in 1, you would never assume would just fucking... especially going after those things twice with his wife, would just let the bitch walk out the fucking door. And then in 3, she just leaves, and then she walked out, and I never called her back.
That's the exact character, though. Here's the thing. That's That is the same John McClane that flew to the Nakatomi Plaza to see her. Here's the thing. Just because they have a happy ending that day, their problems aren't over. Like in Die Hard, they actually have a real, like, human relationship.
And that logic applies to Terminator as well. If we're going to bring it in the sequel.
No, but they have a happy moment, and then he's like, well, you're not happy enough to keep my name, so you can assume that later on they have those problems down the road where it's like she says something, he takes it the wrong way, he flies off the handle. He's that guy. He's not this model husband that's like this great dad and all this shit. He's an alcoholic and he's got problems, and it just continues to build his character.
Right, and you have to apply that same logic to Sarah Connor. She was a shitty mother, but even though, so from her being a shitty mother to being, it's not that fucking hard to see that she would be a crazy person who, even though she thought she saved the world, would still buy a bunch of fucking guns and put them in the coffin and then go to Mexico and die of cancer. So it's not like, you know, that's a far-fetched idea for that character that you see in the first.
I'm not saying that's a far-fetched, but you're saying how she changed from this bad mother to this great mother. That never happened. She did. She never would have, especially even the quick moment where she's been making all these decisions in the extended scene where they take the chip out of the Terminator and she finally starts fucking listening to him. Like it's a small one, but that's still a character change. And then by the end of the movie, she's a lot more open with her son. She's a lot more motherly as opposed to the Sarah Connor. Where is she?
Yeah, I'm going to say where
she consoles her kids. She fucking shakes hands with the thing that she's fucking hating from the first movie. I mean, she hates the Terminator so much in the beginning, and in the end, she has respect for him and shakes his fucking hand. That's a huge change.
Because if she doesn't, she's going to die by the other Terminator.
No, the threat's gone by that time. The Terminator 1000 is dead. So she doesn't have to shake his hand. She can be like, fuck you, you still killed my baby daddy and ruined my life. No, she fucking shakes the hand.
Baby daddy.
Didn't Kyle Reese kill himself by blowing up the Terminator?
Yeah, but Sarah Connor's a crazy bitch. She doesn't.
I'm just saying, Kyle Reese self-assassinated. So
also, I mean, that itself is a time paradox as well. Like, he can't exist. That's another paradox that has to be.
No, she's already pregnant by that time, though.
Yeah, but he can't exist because like if he does,
at that point, him being alive or dead doesn't affect John Connor being born. And even then, they say in the first one, he doesn't know his dad. He has to she tells him about him. He has to send him back. But so at that point, him being killed doesn't fuck up the time loop.
Yeah, but that would affect it in Terminator 2 because if the Terminator is defeated in 95, there's no war, so there's no Kyle Reese to go back to 1984 to knock her up. So they should just disappear, like in Back to the Future. Remember when Marty's looking at the photo? Well,
no, but they had sex before he died. So she's pregnant.
Yeah, but that would wipe out his existence in the future. There would
no.
for him to ever come back.
That's the fucked up thing. Him in being around in the future isn't dependent on him going back. Kyle the Kyle Reese that gets sent.
I'm talking about John.
Right. So he's already growing inside the bitch. Because at the end of the movie, she's pregnant. So him,
yeah, I understand that.
So after they've been fucked. They fucked each other. Excuse me. It doesn't matter if he lives or dies at that point. The only thing that matters is that John gets born.
No, Dion, I'm talking about I'm not talking about Kyle Reese banging her. I understand that. I'm talking about they defeat the T-1000,
right?
And the T-800 goes into the thing. Skynet is never a thing. There's no future war. Kyle Reese can be born, but John Connor can't send him back in time to knock up his mom. So Kyle Reese can exist. John Connor should just disappear.
No, what? How?
Because if the only reason John Connor was born is because Kyle Reese goes back in time.
Because there's a threat, in the future with machines. Kyle Reese has to go back.
What the fuck is the matter with you guys? The threat doesn't mean anything.
The fuck is the matter with you if there's no threat? We're not talking about her being pregnant. You're missing the bigger picture. We're not worried about him going back, knocking her up, and then the kid being born. Right. If in Terminator 2 they stop Judgment Day completely, yes. There's no war in the future. There's no future John Connor to send back Kyle Reese to knock up the mom to have a baby. Meaning, John Connor shouldn't exist because if there's no future war, there would be no Kyle Reese sent back to knock up Sarah. It would be, they get to 2029 or whatever, and it's just another fucking day, like it is in 2017. So there's no one ever would get sent back. Like it would wipe out the thing.
Yeah, it would be a paradox.
But that's a different Skynet. They acknowledge that in the third one, It's a completely.
So are we going with part 3 or are we not? Because a minute ago you said we're going to do the same thing and not talk about part 3.
Right, but again, you're saying you're. So I didn't say you talked about. You brought up part 3. So I'm saying okay, we're bringing up the sequels. So even if we don't bring up the sequels, they never establish a fucking time rule where it's like, oh, if something doesn't happen, they even say in the end of the movie, we don't know what's going to happen. So this isn't Back to the Future where
Well, Dion, if we're going to go by the deleted scenes that you're always talking about, there's the alternate ending where it is 2029.
Yes.
I'm just saying, man, if you're going to use one, then we can use the other against
it. It doesn't fucking matter because you're wrong either way. There's no timeline rule established in the film where, this changes and affects the time we're in now. It just affects the future. There's no timeline rule where, there's no Judgment Day, you should disappear. That's not ever established. It's not an episode of Star Trek. That's never mentioned. So
it causes a problem within the plot of the film.
No, it doesn't, because they don't establish a timeline rule. There's no time travel rules in this movie. That's what's so great about it. They don't make
there's a timeline and shit happens across it. If you prevent one thing, it prevents the future from happening.
They don't multiple movies. Not all time travel movies follow that rule in the first place. Not to mention again. They never say, if this happens, this should affect our time. If we affect something in the future,
yeah, but even then you're wrong with saying that, because for them to travel back and prevent it means that it does follow that narrative. It does follow that rule.
All it does is it proves that the people in the future are wrong. It doesn't prove that the fucking movie doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but.
We never said the movie doesn't make any sense, but that plot point.
Yeah, because for the machines or anybody to travel back in time to try to prevent something or save somebody means that the timeline is it's a line. If you're going with the theory,
first Star Trek movie dump does that follow the same one or is that different?
Yeah, but
Star Trek: The Motion Picture from 1979 has nothing to do with.
You know what the fuck, smart ass. You know what I mean? Star Trek.
I was like, wait a second. No, that's nothing to do with this. No, but unless you follow the other world theory, which means that they're not traveling through time, they're traveling through dimensions, meaning that the time that
so they explicitly say in Terminator that they're following one of those rules.
Yeah, they don't.
No, they don't say that, motherfucker. There's no established time travel rules. So yeah, they do send them back in time.
But they time travel for a reason. They're not just going to send robots back.
Well, no, time. Dion, it does make that a rule, because by destroying the arm, they're already using that logic. But if you stop this moment in the past, the shit in the future doesn't happen.
The end of the movie isn't that it's changed. The end of the movie is that we don't know what's going to happen. The only thing that's been established in the movie is one-way time traveling. There's no we time travel and we'll know if we want or not. It's just we're just sending you back. She even says in the beginning, all we could do is send them back and hope that it gets there first. It's a one-way thing. So even
that's not what we're arguing at all. We're not. That's just talking about something that we're not arguing.
That logic,
we're not arguing that it's one-way time travel.
There's no time paradox because that's not how this time travel movie works. That's what I'm saying to you. So there is.
It does, but that's how it works because they go to Dyson's house.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they fucking
that's
have
the only reason
records. They're not. Dyson's not alive in the goddamn future. They can say, "Hey, where did you live?" They just have his fucking living records from that time period. It's not like they say, "Okay, well, he lived. He told us he lived." No,
but no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, but they go to his house to kill him to prevent creating Skynet, thus saving the future.
Just because the character thinks something doesn't make it mean that that's going to fucking happen. What we're finding out in the end of the movie...
Then that makes no sense for any movie's logic whatsoever. Not even a time travel movie. It's like, if I shoot a gun, a whale's going to come out. It's just, the character didn't guess it. Like,
time travel rules from other things.
I'm not bringing Back to the Future. I'm talking about in their movie. Why do they go to his house to destroy that thing at a moment in time to prevent something in the future?
Right.
So when they prevent
and they're wrong. Yeah, that's the end of the movie when they say we don't know what's going to happen. It's from their perspective.
That's not what that means. That's not what that ending means at all. It means we don't know what's going to happen with humanity. Not about Skynet in the fucking war.
The fucking
they wrote that shit in to make more money.
Humanity. That's exactly what it means. The road is unpaved. We don't know what's going to happen.
They stopped it. That's what the ending of T2 is. It stopped it. They stopped Judgment Day.
Yeah. They think so. There's no established.
No. That's not. No. When they made that movie, If, like you said, we're going by just that movie to compare to Die Hard. When they made that movie is the end of it. And they even filmed the ending where Judgment Day never happened.
True, yeah, that was the cutscene, yeah.
I agree.
I'm just saying, but this interpretation of we don't know what the future brings, that's just like an open-ended line. It's not like, oh, Judgment Day could still happen, blah, blah. This movie was made in 1992, not 2017, where they got to have a universe and 12 sequels. That movie had a finite ending.
Yes,
it took
I agree.
13 years or 12 years to make a sequel. Like, that was it.
No, I
Judgment
agree.
Day was averted, and it's a cool ending. But my point is, with Judgment Day averted, in the future, who goes back? That's all I'm saying. It's not.
No,
about,
I agree with that. But again, we're looking at it from their perspective. And again, their motivations are their motivations, not the fucking rules by which the storyline operates.
But we're not talking motivations. We're talking about the logic that's created within the universe itself of Terminator.
Oh, my audio's being fucking dumb.
No, all I said to you is we're not worried about character motivations. We're talking about the logic created inside of the film itself, not Back to the Future, not the Time Traveler, not the Time Machine with Guy Pearce, none of that. We're talking about the shit, how they present it in Terminator. Just 1 and 2, because 1 and 2 are connected. That's the only reason I asked that question, because I think we spent way too much. I think we spent like 15 minutes on that one point, and that's fine. But realistically, this episode's just us screaming at each other. No! How does he exist? He doesn't exist. He still fucked her. Blah blah blah. Well, there's no one to fuck. Like,
And I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah, Kendo's still here. Hey, man.
I really only have one point to make.
What's that?
In Die Hard, John McClane goes up against Germans. It's been historically proven that as an adversary against Americans in armed conflicts, the Germans are inferior. So we knew he was going to win. Whereas in Terminator 2, we're up against cyborgs, and there's no telling historically how that would have turned out. That's why they were a better bad guy. Fuck Germans.
Well, the human did defeat the cyborg once already in Terminator 1. Sarah Connor, your Terminator fucker, and then she just crushed him with a hydraulic press.
Yeah, a hydraulic press killed him.
Either way, they sent Germans against Americans in armed conflicts again, and once again it turned out the same way we figured it would. Well,
but here, Dion was talking about character motivations. The character motivations of like the T-1000 are just find John Connor and assassinate him. Fine, you're a machine. That's what you're programmed to do. There are like 3 levels of subterfuge with Hans Gruber. You think he's a terrorist. Then you think he's just there to rob. But then he's got a whole nother plot about how he's going to blow up the roof and make them think they're dead in the rubble. Like, there's so many layers to each character, and they're not even hard to follow. It's just like, oh, cool, I didn't see that coming. And it just builds to this richer experience. Terminator is a cool visual experience. I like the movie. I think it's great. But Die Hard, I'm not saying you're like moved to tears, but you're moved because every character is different from the beginning to the end. Like, everybody betters themselves. Everyone becomes a hero. The villains are, whatever. Like, everyone grows. And there's so much more growth. That's why I enjoy all the characters from Die Hard. They're much more memorable, if we're going to be honest.
And also it's one human guy against other people as well, who's kicking ass and saving people. So
yeah, the Terminator got shot. Remember when they're shooting the gas? He's shooting the gas grenades at the guy in the lobby for Skynet or whatever it's called. He just gets shot until his face comes off. John McClane has to fight. Like, the stakes are higher in Die Hard. Like, it's one dude against 30. He has no shoes on. Remember the time where what are you talking about? The stakes are fucking higher in Die Hard for one guy.
If the kid dies, humanity gets extinct. What the fuck do you mean?
The guy that's protecting the kid's bulletproof and has to kill himself.
He's basically a rolling shield.
The stakes are higher. No, they're fucking not.
Yes, they are. McClane's life is on the line. It's one dude against 30.
Higher human race, bro.
Yeah, I mean, if John McClane fails, some Jap loses a bunch of money. Who cares?
And everyone involved dies.
And
he saved
45 people. Most.
Yeah, compared to all of humanity.
Yeah, that's crazy stakes, bro.
I'm just saying. He is a vulnerable guy. The Terminator's not. There's no danger. There's no threat of is he going to make it.
He's
Not until the very end of the movie.
He's merely a human interpretation that somebody's programmed to be human-like to make it easier for him to protect and roll around, the fucking 90s and protect John Connor. That's all he is.
Yeah, his character doesn't really face any adversity until the very end of the movie because he just literally, I'm locked in a room. I'll just walk through the fucking wall. Like John McClane's trapped. What does he do? He has to, when he's got all the glass in his feet, he's like, he actually has moments where he's like, hey, if I don't make it out of here, tell my wife I love her. The Terminator never has, nobody in that movie ever has a moment where it's like, well, if we fail, blah, blah, blah. Dyson's like, I don't know how long I can hold it, and then dies, and that's it. There's never like a moment for the audience to connect with a character and go on a ride with them. John Connor whines and bitches, blah, blah, blah. You never can sympathize with him. Terminator's not a fucking human, and Sarah Connor's off her rocker the whole time. McClane's fairly level-headed to a degree where the audience can accept what he does and go along with him. Basically, Terminator 2 is just like a spectacle. Die Hard's an experience
and
go
also,
up and down.
John McClane's American, and I'm pretty sure Terminator is made in Japan.
There's no. Remember the political Pangea comment I made last week, Nick? There's no more borders with Skynet. It's all stopped.
Exactly.
We're all metal on the inside, bruh.
Now, let's talk about the action scenes. Like just straight up action scenes. I could concede that they're equal on just straight up action scenes, unless Dion wants to take it further, because
if we're overall action, we'll compare amount to quality. Then yeah, but obviously the amount of action scenes superior in Die Hard. The quality way better in Terminator for sure.
Now, I would say the quality of the special effects and the technical work, which we'll get to later, definitely is better. But I don't think that, okay, did you see the special edition in theaters this past weekend?
I did not. No.
They changed the movie.
Did they?
What?
Yeah, they CGI'd Arnold Schwarzenegger's face over the stunt man and all that shit multiple times. Because I'm watching it, and you know the part where the motorcycle comes down into the water basin when the semi truck's
yeah.
And you used to be able to see the stunt man and all that shit.
Yeah.
They just CGI'd Arnold's face over that, and they CGI'd John Connor. I guess it's okay to fix that stuff, but it was kind of like, don't pull a Star Wars.
Damn, that really bugs me, man. Damn.
Yeah, so the new cut of Terminator is the only cut of Terminator, and the original cut is, whatever.
Yeah, this is why I still like my VHS tape of it.
I do.
That's
the only format I own that movie on.
I've won a Die Hard too.
didn't
What are you
get
saying?
Blu-ray.
What the fuck are you saying, Dion?
I'm just saying, you love Die Hard so much, you ain't got a VHS of fucking Die Hard.
Yes, I do.
I
have
got both
a
of these
VHS
motherfuckers on
of
DVD.
Die Hard and
Don't jump all over him because Samoa hasn't gotten the DVD technology yet.
No, man, we just got Betamax yesterday.
Yeah, it's not his.
Hey, you got better sound and picture quality, but no porn.
Don't say that. No, I know that nobody else knows that. There, just calm down.
Well, I think Die Hard or T2 has really good action scenes, but I think some of them, from a technical aspect, look shitty. Like when they're on the highway chase scene at the end, and the helicopter wrecks into them. Remember when the helicopter wrecks into the back of the truck? And Arnold gets out of the truck and shoots. There's some shots that kind of take me out of the moment and shit like that. It's fun, but okay, I feel like this Terminator. This is my complaint with what movie is it that I always talk about? It's either Empire Strikes Back or something where it starts and stops with Terminator. Die Hard builds, and I always like when a movie builds to the end and you have this big payoff. Terminator doesn't really build. It builds and then drops, builds, drops, but it never gets super, super high. You'll have your set pieces, but they don't really top each other, if that makes sense. You may have the best set piece in the beginning. I think the best set piece is at Skynet, the labs. But then there's another 45 minutes of the movie. I guess this is a pacing problem, not an action problem. But it's you go from awesome to not so awesome. And then there's an action scene at the end, but the stuff at the Foundry's not that interesting. They could have played that much more, much better effect. Once Die Hard hits a certain point, it's holy shit, it's an overload. And then the ending's way better. Well, no, not the ending's way better. We'll talk about that later. But, like, the shootouts are cool. They're visceral. Like I said a minute ago, like, McClane can die. That makes the action, to me, of higher quality. Because if your character can just literally walk through the wall and grab a gun and bend it and shit, it's like, I'm not on the edge of my seat for anything. It's just like this invulnerable... It's like Superman. People bitch about Superman. Oh, it takes a green rock to beat him. Well, the Terminator doesn't really get beaten. He just has to be like...
No, you just
have to... What are you talking about? He gets literally... The robot gets beat to death.
No, it doesn't.
He comes back, but even if it weren't for a distraction caused by Sarah Connor, they go toe to toe again. He loses again.
But he never lost.
Right. But you're saying the threat of John dying makes that good. So I'm saying from the very beginning, you learn that the T-1000 is far superior. He even admits he's better than I am. So again, it's not the same. All I'm saying is there is a threat.
Only one point of the film. Only at the end of the film is Arnold ever in danger. He just runs away, and he's never he's always able to ward the guy off. It's like in episode 7. It's like, she just fights him randomly, and then she's just able to protect herself. The opposite for Arnold. It's like, I'm able to protect myself the whole movie, and then at one point where it's convenient for the plot,
even then,
it's not convenient for the plot. They get cornered in the. It's not like it just out of happenstance. Oh well, this time I finally caught up with you. They're my enemy, and I've now beat you. Like no, they happen to get cornered. They get cornered in the
Foundry.
His ass beat, and even before, you know that he's better because there's a moment where the T-1000 throws him out the window. So it's established in the film that the T-1000 is the better fucking machine in this film, and every time he gets away, it's a thing of circumstance. The fucking.
Also, why didn't the T-1000 just turn into like a liquid metal pterodactyl or a helicopter and start flying around?
They're equal size. They established that rule that he can't.
That's true. That's true. Never mind.
And it can't make complex machines like a bomb.
Yeah, it's true. Only things of equal size are stabbing.
Yeah, never mind. I completely forgot about that line. My bad.
Learn your shit, bro.
I mean, the script for Terminator is pretty tight, but the script for Die Hard's watertight. The thing is, we're arguing 99 and 100%.
Right.
It's like we're really going for it's like, hey, Arnold Schwarzenegger's hair was out of place in this scene.
Those motherfuckers.
Yeah, we're reaching. No, but look, the only element 100% that I'll give you that T2 wins in every aspect is the fucking part where Arnold is lowered into the liquid metal.
Yeah.
Every time. I've never shed a tear for that movie, but every time I'm just like, oh man. And when he raises his thumb and he catches fire, that's awesome. You couldn't end that movie any better. There's just one problem with the ending to Terminator. After his screen goes blank, they have another 45 seconds of pointless movie. The movie should have just ended right there with him when the screen goes black. Then they could have had Sarah Connor's thing, and then it ends. Because Dan and I were talking about this. It's why not just end it there? We didn't need to... All she did is give him a hug. Cool. It's nice, oh, it's over. And then there's a fucking shot of a highway. I thought that was kind of an odd ending. To me, it shows a seam that was never intended to be the ending, and it was just an editing room ending that they slapped on there. I think Die Hard's ending with... from the moment where he comes down after the roof has blown up, and he screams for Holly, and he finds the Huey Lewis-looking guy, and Hans Gruber, and they have the standoff, and he starts to laugh, and the music hits, and all that shit, and he's like, Holly, get down, and he pulls the gun, and
they could have done a better way, because John McClane whips his ass so hard, he literally hangs him by... They could have had a different villain, that's my only issue.
I'm not talking about that scene.
Oh, my bad.
I was just talking about the part where he's got the gun taped to his back, and he gets Holly get down, and he shoots the dude in the fucking head, and then shoots Hans out the window, and he blows these happy trails. And here's the thing about Terminator. Terminator, it's just here's the thing we need to get to, and that's it. Die Hard builds up so many little elements that all pay off. The fucking watch. The watch that Ellis gives her is a fucking plot point, deeper than most things in Terminator. That watch, that was a dividing element between the life Holly had with John McClane in New York and the life she lives now in California. The Rolex, what that represents, that's the one thing for her to have to let that go. It saves the day. That, and that's how Hans Gruber dies. Not because he gets shot out the window, it's something epic. They just let the clasp of the watch go and he drops and falls to his death. That's a fucking callback. There's no callbacks, nothing like that. There's another callback with Al Powell later on. Like, those little elements will always be why Die Hard trumps Terminator 2. Maybe Terminator 2 has the spectacle down. That's great. But Die Hard has those little moments.
That little thing
that
is the
audience
spectacle. It's just a little thing.
The thing is, the spectacle's nice, but Die Hard still has the spectacle, but it also has it has depth to it. Terminator has the speeches about humanity and this and that, but Die Hard actually shows how humanity is, the way the humanity is portrayed in Die Hard is much more entertaining than the way they project what humanity.
Because in Terminator 2, like, he's it's a T-800 Arnold Schwarzenegger saving humanity by saving Edward Furlong or saving John Connor. In Die Hard, it's greater because it's literally one man trying to save everybody in that building, doing the best he can, and he even knows he might die. That's why he says, tell my wife I love her. So it's a greater story in that aspect.
I mean, it's a great story for sure. It's a great story. But again, I just think it's and again, the story for John and even for Holly and Al Powell, that's great. But again, it's the depth of the Terminator learning to appreciate human life. And when he's not even human, he's not even made to be fucking human. So even at the end,
how is he appreciating human life? His mission is just to
he literally says, "Now I understand why you cry."
But it's something I could never do.
Exactly. So he understands it. And
so it's not like he really grew. He's just like here's the thing. It's just like I'm a learning machine. Blah blah blah. My neural net processor.
He literally he's programmed to learn. They establish that, and then an inanimate object learns it. So I mean, obviously, call back out to Duck.
My iPhone learns all the time too. It's really weird,
Oh, it's just the same thing because your iPhone could go to someone else's house and kill it. No, good try. But
if it was a Galaxy Note 7,
he understands, learns to understand human fucking emotion. And in that part where he fucking wipes his tear away, I'm just like,
I mean, I think you're reading too much into it. He always says, I understand why you cry and I can never do it, but.
Listen, I'm not going to take shit from the dude that barely has the DVD of it, so fuck you. But
hey, I'm going to see a tape, motherfucker, right? And rewind it and then play it again and then rewind it and play it again all day, all right? Come the fuck on.
Are you going to sit in front of the floor with the rest of your Samoan families?
Listen here, right?
He's the last standing one.
Huddle up in a shit-made hut and somebody's going to
pedal. With a VHS player.
So somebody's gonna pedal to make sure the battery and the lights come on. Like it's hard work, man. All right, don't judge me. Don't judge me.
Don't belittle his plight, motherfucker.
My bad, bro. My bad.
Goddamn right, wise ass.
Oh god. It's hard being Samoan, right? It's hard being Samoan.
I know, man. My bad, brother. My bad.
No, but Dion, I thought this was actually pretty fun.
It was very fun.
We can let the audience decide what's better. I mean, this was a weird week for news and shit like that, and I just thought, saw Terminator in theaters, it would be a good time to talk about it. I love them both. Die Hard, I think, is just the better film overall. Yeah, Terminator has its themes, but I don't... It's like to me, it's like a really good college essay that tells you, like, we're going to talk about this and that, but it never goes beyond like 3 or 4 sentences. Die Hard tells you maybe we have less points we're going to make, but we're going to fucking give you 12 paragraphs on each one, and that's why I like it. To me, it's just a much more gratifying experience. When I watch Terminator, it's like, I'm really sad to see Arnold go, and the other times I'm just like, hey, explosions. With this, I'm like, man, Hans Gruber is really just a thief, and Theo and Argyle are there. Like, Argyle even gets a moment at the end. Like, everyone gets a fucking cool moment. Argyle, like, now I could be, like, stupid and go, like, well, the grocery store attendant is much more entertaining in Die Hard than the guy in Terminator that gets beat up or something. See, I could go into dumb shit like that,
yeah. But
I'm not. I'm going with, like, just characters that have names that actually service. Even Dwayne T. Robinson, like, furthers the plot. Causes problems for McClane, makes the audience, root for McClane more. I just think the McClane has so many factors up against him and is really just human, and like he like without shoes and shit, and there's just so many elements that, you know, at the end of it, it's awesome. I can't really compare this to Lethal Weapon. I could have done Lethal Weapon for you, but that's like apples to oranges.
Yeah, it's buddy cop thing is definitely different.
We could do Beverly Hills Cop versus.
Oh no, you guys do it on your own. I'm not part of that.
Oh my god!
I'm not picking a side. I'm not picking a side of that at all. You guys, I want to hear that. I want to hear that 3-hour argument.
We'll record it for the patrons.
There you go.
Awesome.
Speaking of the patrons, let's read some of their questions. So, Kendo Slice, you're a patron of this channel, even though you're officially on the show full time. Did you have a question?
Yes. If you could skim any movie, what would it be?
I mean, I do that with porn already, so I don't see. I mean, I guess I'm okay then. Yeah.
That's tough. I would like to have only skimmed Back to the Future Part 3, so I didn't have to really pay attention to the stupidity on it. But
I would have liked to skim Batman vs Superman and never actually know the entire fucking story.
Dude, I listened to our commentary for that this morning. We just did not want to do that.
Because I'm sure you hear the moment where we're all just like, alcohol's not going to help anymore. This is just horrible.
I'll never forget. I was downstairs taking a shit, and I text you, "Is it over yet?" And like I had this existential crisis. It's like I don't know if I can emotionally walk up those stairs to finish this flick. It's so dumb.
When you sitting on the toilet is better than you coming and talking to us. It's like, damn, that's a problem. That's a fucking problem.
You guys are my best friends. Shitting just seemed like a better escape.
Yeah, that's
And Dion, your punk ass wasn't even on that one. You fucking owe me. We're doing Suicide Squad.
Why would you do that to me? Goddammit! What the?
Because I want to hear you cry and complain and bitch and moan and get like 7,000 more people to call you an asshole.
God, just so mean to me. Just so mean to me.
I mean, we are best buddies, but sometimes you got to pay the toll.
Shit, man. I want to be there just to hear Dion just like.
You're contractually obligated to be there. The four of us have to be there. Maybe I'll call Joel. Maybe Phil. I don't know. Phil likes that movie.
He likes a lot of dumb shit.
Why?
You'll meet Phil at WrestleMania,
and then you'll understand my pain.
Well, okay, so back to the Patreon thing, though. So Eric Ward, his question was kind of like a two-parter, which we already talked about Force Friday in the beginning. But he also asked, I know you hate Episode 7.
Yeah.
But what do you think is good or positive about 7 and the upcoming of 8? And I'm not trying to be funny, Eric, because you and I have talked many a times, like on Facebook. I don't find anything positive about 7. I mean, I can go from the music sounds like shit, it just feels like a soulless cash grab to sell more merchandise. The fact that the film is even a thing is a problem for me. Thus, I can't say anything positive about it. The characters don't serve a purpose. R2-D2 doesn't serve a purpose. He just randomly wakes up at the end. Like, that's stupid. That's dumb. Oh, they'll explain in the future. No. None of this explaining shit in future movie shit's gonna fucking work or fly with me ever again. You get one chance with me from now on. Because of this channel, I watch a lot of shit. If it doesn't catch me on one viewing, and I'm not talking something like Inception or what's that other one with Christopher Nolan, with Guy Pearce, the first one he did.
Memento?
Memento?
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of movie I can watch like 4 or 5 times and pick up new things. The Big Lebowski. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not worried about... I'll make elements like that. But Star Wars Episode 7 is just one big, dumb piece of shit that... You know, get your point across.
Yeah, because the first one was, A New Hope was just a complete story in itself, and the fact that the fact that we started with this J.J. Abrams mystery bullshit, and it's like, okay, we're going to tell you a little bit of the story now, and then you have to follow it all the way the fuck through. It's like, no, tell a complete fucking story. I don't want to waste my time and money on this bullshit.
Yeah,
there really isn't any fucking positive thing. I mean, it's not only that it's an incomplete story, it's a bad story. I mean, even they immediately, the only good thing is immediately taken away when Han Solo gets the fucking Millennium Falcon back. But then you remember, why the fuck would he lose the goddamn Millennium Falcon? He lost it already. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. And then you're like, oh, hey, okay, it's fucking, there's Chewbacca. You know, we see the tandem. They show the tandem together. And he gets stabbed in the fucking chest. And then the one that they could fucking do, which Mark Hamill himself has called out, is fucking have all three of them in the same room, or at least, you know, having, you know, Han Solo's death being something that gets Luke Skywalker. But no, he just all of a sudden forgets everything that he learned about being a Jedi and just doesn't fucking show up.
Yeah, because you would think he would feel that disturbance in the Force and like come running, but apparently that wasn't it.
It's so fucking dumb.
The positive I took from The Force Awakens was the Chick-fil-A I had before I watched the movie and the beers I drank after the movie. And then my disdain for it led me to finding this channel. That's the positive.
I was just about to say, if there's a positive from episode 7, it's all of you people that have subscribed to our channel over the last nearly 2 years now. Because if it wasn't for that movie and my fucking heartbreakingly honest review of it, I don't know if this would be a thing we would be spending our Thursday nights doing. So I guess if there's one positive and you have to thank that movie, thank us for existing based on that movie. So there you go. There's your positive. Is there anything for me to look forward to on episode 8? If Rey fucking dies or gets an arm or a leg chopped off, that bitch has to suffer to become a Jedi. Every other one did. There's no reason for me to get behind her character. Everything's handed.
It is going to happen. It is going to happen. They'll do it.
She'll just grow a new one back.
They want equality. Just cut her fucking arm off or something. Luke lost his hand. Anakin lost his arm. Let her lose. Dude, she should lose her eye. She should get skull fucked by Kylo Ren's like little cross guard. That'd be kind of cool. I don't even dislike Daisy Ridley. I just hate that character.
Yeah.
I just want to fucking kick her in the teeth. Sorry, that was a little violent.
The positive I have looking forward to episode 8 is that there's a really good chance that I will be able to do a movie review talking about how fucking horrible it was.
Oh, guaranteed. You were on the first review anywhere in the world tonight. I gave it a 0 out of 10. But no, you'll be on this. You'll be on the real official episode 8 review.
Yay!
Listeners, whenever that comes out, was that almost 4 months from now?
Yeah, it's creeping up.
No, it's not creeping up. It's happening fast now, man.
Yeah, dude, August.
It's Force Friday
August
in 1 hour.
Over after and an hour and 45 minutes for me. August is over. Good.
And 47 minutes from now, there's no August.
Yep, that's the end of August. Thank God.
He hasn't been listening to the shows regularly because he's got school, but he messaged me today. He's like, hey, I caught up on the episode. Great job. Thank you, Augs, for president.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so let's read some of the comments from last week's... you know what? It's funny. The comments were pretty divisive, and now they've kind of caught up to where people seem to like the episode. It's like at a 75% positive rating. So
Hooray.
Honestly, I don't even care about the thumbs up to thumbs down. I'm just happy that people are watching the show.
Oh, yeah.
Like, thank you, everyone out there that pays attention. And that's why I get kind of mad when somebody's like, I can't listen to the whole show. Well, we're on Podbean and iTunes for free. Just download it and listen to us at your convenience, man. Like, you don't have to listen to it the first day, but listen to the show. Because World Class Bullshitters episodes, they ebb and they flow and they build upon each other. I could randomly scream out, hey, Luke, and if you're a new listener, you might not know what that means, but if you're somebody like Reality Frank, yeah, everybody knows what Hey Luke means. So, it's just, you got to invest the time, but we're going to give you the entertainment you deserve. We're like, was it The Dark Knight that makes that stupid sentence about, we're not the podcast we need, but the podcast you deserve, something like that?
Yeah, exactly.
That's us.
All right. So, the pinned comment of the week came from Steel1974. The Obi-Wan movie in the style of Gran Torino. Just replace the Koreans with space Muslims, and you got it.
No, I like Koreans better.
Oh! Space Muslims doesn't do it for you? It doesn't get you rock hard?
No, I just feel like there's going to be some fucking Allahu jihad going on up in space, and I'll lose my goddamn DirecTV.
That's your worry. That's your worry. Is that they're gonna target the DirecTV satellite, and you're gonna have static for like an hour.
Yeah, or they'll fucking
space,
take out
no one can hear you, jihad.
Or they'll take out the moon, and then we'll be fucked.
It won't be that bad. The tides will be kind of weird for a little bit. It'll be all right, though.
No, we would start wobbling very inconsistently because the moon helps keep us on that nice tilt.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll work it out, man. We got NASA. We're okay. Don't worry.
We will turn sideways, and bad shit will happen. The jungles become ice.
Texas will flood.
Yeah, the jungles become ice. The ice will become not jungle because there'll be nothing there. We're fucked.
Cats and dogs living together.
That's okay.
We all saw the Time Machine remake. Calm the fuck down.
I was quoting Ghostbusters, asshole.
No, I was talking to him about the goddamn moon, man. Your shit was good. Don't be fucking jumping on me because I want to make fun of a goddamn Guy Pearce movie.
Hey, that was a pretty good movie. Not as good as the original.
I love that movie. Don't get me wrong, but the moon, the moon fucked us up in that movie, man. I'm just saying, I agree. But just calm the fuck down.
That's because they tried to explode. That's because they tried to clean out a section of the interior of the moon with a fucking nuke. When you do that, bad shit happens.
What if it's not a moon? It's no moon. It's a space station, and it's a Muslim.
You can't stumble that.
It's a space Muslim fucking space station. We are screwed.
Listen, you are long screwed before the Muslims take over the moon, my friend.
Well, yeah, you can't get fucking flying carpets that high.
I can't believe we're having this conversation.
Moon
They're taking your hickory corner ass out before they head to the moon. Don't worry.
Hold on. What would Iron Sky be called if it was Muslims?
Oh no.
Oh God. I don't know.
Sky.
What?
Mecha Sky?
Mecha Sky. Okay.
Oh God.
People would mistake it for a Japanese robot movie, and then it would make a bunch of money. Let's make that.
I guarantee we're gonna be getting death threats after this episode.
Who the fuck?
No. There's no we. There's no we, motherfucker. That's you. There ain't no we. There ain't no we.
They won't come to this town. There's too many fucking crackers around here for them.
All their trucks can't go farther than 100 miles because the fucking rust shit's gonna make them fall apart. So they ain't got much to worry about.
I don't know. Michigan ain't in the best place either.
It's definitely.
You're actually closer to Dearborn. You're fine.
Yeah,
dude, which means
I lived in Milford.
And his cousins hunting Muslims or whatever the fuck.
I don't have to worry about Billy John and his cousins hunting Muslims because they'll be on my side.
I don't know.
I'm not hunting anybody.
I don't know. You gonna be cutting yourself off from a lot of people after this episode, man.
Yeah.
Might be found.
I'm not worried. I got a shotgun. I can take down any flying carpet.
I hope your aim's good enough.
Dude, it's a shotgun.
Okay,
He's got a point.
Okay.
Pray and spray. Okay, so the Nerdrotic channel says, thanks for reading my comment. Keep the bullshit flowing. Gary, age 48. You're welcome, Gary. Hope your channel keeps growing. Justin B6699, longtime listener and patron. By the way, Justin, send us more questions because I think we've read through all of them. And if we haven't, just send some more so I can read more because you're a big patron, so thank you. I don't get why most people don't like Linkara. Outside of his anti-ad block video, I get that. Otherwise, he's fine. I'll be more interested in hearing what you have to say about... Wait, sorry. Otherwise, he's fine. I'll be more interested on what's said about him in the What's Wrong with the Internet video. Well, dude, I'm not going to tell you now because I've been writing it down. I have a script. There's so many problems with Linkara. You know what you should do is go to the Encyclopedia Dramatica page about Linkara. That's a good read. Alright, Dion, this one's for you. Stick decapitated Nobu at the end of Daredevil Season 2. You can't come back from a decapitation.
Oh, gotcha.
Let's see. Oh yeah, Sigzex. Oh yeah, Nick, tell us where we can get Strip Club Massacre ASAP. Well, it's in the description.
The link is in the description. And the good thing is we got put back onto Amazon. We're not on Prime, but you are able to rent and or buy the movie, so we're good.
Okay, Craig Thompson. If you want to laugh at Chris Duckman's expense, watch the latest Half in the Bag. They highlight him as one of the critics shilling for Annabelle creation. Yeah, that guy, I almost don't want to make a video on him because it would be sad at this point. It's like, beating up a handicapped kid. But I'm going to make it, and I'm going to beat up that handicapped Chris Duckman because he deserves
it. Exactly.
Dude, Red Letter Media is not absolved from this either. They got a fucking video coming because they got this new video talking about they're making fun of Star Wars shills and this and that and the other, but they pulled that shit in 2015 for The Force Awakens. Oh. Don't get me started on them, because if anything, I'm the most angry at them, because unless they're like, hey, that was just a joke, or some other poorly written comedy starring, what's his name, Rich, I almost called him Rich Brennan. Anyway, point is, they're not safe. They got one coming up too. I like most of their content, but that Star Wars thing was just so off-putting and outside of what they normally do that it made me question their integrity. So that's coming soon. Don't worry. John Kirk. I've seen one of those anti-pirating commercials where it was a set builder who says, if you pirate movies, it hurts the little people like him. It's not pirating that's affecting his job. It's CGI, which is making the building sets obsolete.
Yeah. Piracy affects more of the independent people than anything else. Because we'll use our own money to make movies and things like that, and people will get paid or they'll get paid shit, and we're always hoping the DVD sales or T-shirt sales or whatever will at least get us a little bit more to make another movie and make it even better than the last one. So it really affects us more than it does the big guys, because the big guys have insurance and money and unions and things like that. They get paid up front. We don't. So that's the big thing.
Yeah, we're not going to make $1 on the World Class Bullshitters movie until it's actually made.
Exactly,
so.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that's how that works.
It's a risk I'm willing to take.
Yeah.
Okay, Dion, this one should make you laugh. John King says, "Wow, what assailed you guys are." I don't know what that part means. What assailed you guys are? DC isn't trying to catch Marvel, not at all. In fact, DC's first 3 movies have been more successful.
No.
What? I mean, okay. So Iron Man came out when nothing Marvel had been proven since Spider-Man. Like, Marvel, there was Spider-Man and there was X-Men. Fantastic Four was a joke, Daredevil was a joke. So Iron Man is a third-tier character that goes on to make, $580 million worldwide, 93 or 4% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it built the biggest franchise in history. Man of Steel, which is based off the most popular superhero ever, Superman, didn't crack the money that they expected it to, and it was really kind of just meh at best. Then we had Iron Man 2, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, Iron Man 2 is so much better than Batman v Superman, but I hate both movies. Iron Man 2 went on to make a bunch of money, and then Suicide Squad. Are we really going to compare Suicide Squad to... Is it Thor?
No, it's
Oh, sorry. No, sorry. Incredible Hulk would be compared next to BVS, and that's obviously a no-brainer. Then Iron Man 2 versus Suicide Squad. Again, what are we comparing them on? Just money? Because the DC people love to go, well, the Dark Knight won an Oscar for Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker. Okay, that's cool, but is that the meter for success, or is it the finances? Because you guys can't have both. It's either... Like, if it was hugely successful and was critically acclaimed, great. But if everyone hated the fucking movie and people saw it out of curiosity and the brand's dead, like with Suicide Squad, it's not really a success. Because these movies live and die on what else can we make. The Hot Topic crowd's done. They got their fucking... They blew their Jared Leto load. And they've really burned out a lot of normal people. Like, my mom likes Batman. She won't even watch Suicide Squad. She's like, that's not the Joker. Why does he have metal teeth? Why does he have a tattoo on his head? All this
Why
shit.
is he a cuck?
Those are the type of... Yeah, why is he a cuck? Why is he a fucking bitch? Those movies cause problems. Because, John, here's the big problem. Everyone's like, well, is the DC Universe dead? We're talking about rewrites. We're talking about reshoots. We're talking about this. We're talking about that. Blah, blah, blah. The only unequivocal success from DC was Wonder Woman. Every Marvel movie built to the Avengers, we never had, hey, is this going to die? Is the Avengers actually going to come out? Blah, blah, blah. No. After you saw Iron Man, everyone was on board. And yeah, you had the lesser movies like the first Captain America and the Thor, but it was building towards the Avengers, which was the second or third biggest movie ever made. Mm-hmm. Justice League's not building towards that. All we can talk about every fucking week is, hey, Zack Snyder dropped out of the movie. Joss Whedon wrote more of it, but he's not getting directing credit, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing but fucking drama with the build-up to these movies. People are just like, oh, man, Avengers was great. Avengers 2 was pretty good. Can't wait for the third one. Spider-Man Homecoming was pretty good, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're all building towards something. There's an end, and, like, that's why I don't think your comment really works. because maybe Wonder Woman, but you just did the first 3 movies. Wonder Woman's the 4th movie. That was a success. Wonder Woman was better. Well, Wonder Woman was more successful than Thor. That's not even a question. That's just fact at this point. Better reviewed, better box office. Fine, there we go. But your comment about the first 3 DC movies? No. Sorry. I'm not trying to be mean to you. Do you guys disagree with what I'm saying? Or?
No, I think you hit it on the head.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Try again, asshole.
Oh, speaking of, let's just keep.
And also he doesn't specify successful in any way, shape, or form. He doesn't say, Rotten Tomatoes, financially, anything like that. He just says successful. It's like I would rather rewatch all of the Marvel movies as opposed to all the DC ones. Like,
easily.
They're just better. They're just made better and with more care. DC is just like flinging cum everywhere, like they're a goddamn teenager.
At least you got to bust a nut. Felt good. Horror Master, though, we'll keep on this DC thing. Jared Leto's Joker is by far the worst Joker ever made. I wouldn't even call him the Joker. I would call him a ridiculous-looking Hot Topic tattooed pimp who happens to be a Joker fanboy. He wasn't frightening or funny. He was just silly. He was just silly. I mean, Hunka, really? It was so cringeworthy to watch. Even Cesar Romero, an actor who refused to shave his mustache, played a better Joker than Jared Leto did.
Thank you.
Fucking thumbs up and heart. I'm Horror Master 13. I did not see this comment.
Comment of the week.
Thank you. That's the comment of the week. I should have pinned this, but I didn't see it, and I apologize. Dion, you'll love this next comment. This comes from Tap and Die. Everyone take a knee. Dion is preaching the truth.
Fuck yeah.
John Kirk, who's a long-time... Well, I don't know if he's a long-time listener, but he loves the show, and I see him comment every week. So thanks, John. You guys have totally hit the nail on the head when you say that they want a certain image, but they ignore logic in things making sense to get a scene or image on the screen. Like, why the hell is there a Kryptonian spear? It's more of creating story... It's more of a creating story to do scenes than just doing a story to make sense that flow naturally. The Force Awakens makes a huge use of this. The Millennium Falcon is just sitting there on Jakku. Rey and Finn take it, and 3 seconds after they are in space, Han and Chewie find it and board so they can just have Chewie and Han run on the Falcon and go home. Or where Starkiller Base blowing up the Republic planets and Han and Finn can see the planets, but they're halfway across the galaxy. Like, how the hell did they see that? Getting real tired of movies doing this.
Thank you. Shit. Drop the mic, brother.
No Filter does not want us to do a commentary on Die Another Day. Fuck that film. Well, No Filter, it's going to happen because we're doing every James Bond movie. Dave's Golden Duck says Man of Steel was brilliant. Dave, I'm not going to question your opinion. Or actually, I'm going to question your opinion, not your intelligence. And this week's comment, tell me why you think it's a brilliant film, and we'll talk about it next week. Because I don't think it's brilliant. I think it's second best of the DCEU. But it's kind of like it's like, hey, I only got diabetes out of this situation and not cancer type of deal. It's like, it's just better because everything else is worse.
What is he saying,
Make sense? Man of Steel.
Get the fuck out of here. So you mean to tell me...
All right, well, Dion told you how it is.
Get the fuck out of here. That doesn't even make... You're saying it's brilliant. So obviously your definition of brilliant is a fuck ton lot more different than mine is. Brilliant? So Superman, who literally, up until him fighting Zod, learns the fucking value of life and then kills a guy. That's fucking brilliant. Thank you.
It's like saying Dion Comes at Night. That movie was brilliant. It wasn't.
Oh my, that's such a stupid. I get it sometimes. You're like, you want to comment, and you're like, I feel strongly about this thing. Let me type it up and then hit send. Read what you write and then think about it for a minute, because I can guarantee you he wrote this and posted it, and he's like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have said brilliant.
Well, brilliant is all in capital letters, so he meant it.
Fucking dummy.
No, Dave, just tell me why you think it's brilliant. I'll read that, and I'll give you a response next week. I think it's Superman 1 and 2 are better, and I think I'd rather watch 3 than Man of Steel. But if by brilliant you mean it's better than Superman 4 and Superman Returns, 100% agree with you. That's as far as I can go. The Slain Oracle just thanks for reading my comic. Oh, comment, I think you meant. I've been a fan of the show for a couple months now. I haven't commented much, but I really agree with you guys, especially your opinions on shitty movies. Well, Slain Oracle, comment more. We'd like to have a conversation with you.
And join our Facebook page.
Yeah, everyone that listens to the show, join the Facebook page. Honestly, it's a lot of fun. It's really not about us like just getting more likes on Facebook. We have people that listen to the show that interact with us, and we have like a little community. And you can listen to Eddie Cantillo talk about his film reviews. Ryan Leap always shares.
No. Eddie skims movies. Come the fuck on.
Oh, okay. Fine. He didn't skim The Room. He gave it a 3 stars.
Which is way higher than it should have been.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's a 1. If I can give it a 0,
okay. Well, if
he's
giving it a 3 stars in the fact that it's a good shitty movie, I kind of get that. But if he's really giving it 3 stars because he really thought it was good, like that's a fucking problem.
I asked him what grading criteria he was using. Was it number of times Navels was poked by a dick? And he said he gave it the review based on how much it made him lose his shit. So I'm like, okay, so you're clearly not reviewing movies based on like actual movie reviewing criteria.
Yeah, about it being good or a coherent story.
The dialogue, the plot,
Yeah.
cinematography.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, that movie, there's just so many, I guess they're non sequiturs.
Yeah.
I should review The Room one day.
I feel like I should get on that thing that Eddie's on and start reviewing movies myself, but it's like it's a lot of time and effort put into that for like nothing to come out of it.
We can do that. We can make it.
We could have a world class bullshitters page of Letterboxd or whatever it is.
Oh my god, we actually have an email to read in a minute from a legitimate fan.
Oh god.
It's a good comment. It's a good email too. Let's just I'll read a few more comments and then we'll go into this email because it's like it's our first like real fan letter that wasn't like prompted like, hey, if you want to be on the show, shoot us an email. Like this is one of the first fan letters that I remember. Let's see, a few more comments. Here we go.
Got a couple questions.
Are you guys gonna? Are you guys gonna review the Mist TV show that comes from Ride the Lightning 117? I didn't know it was a TV show, but the movie is awesome, and Dion hates it.
It's just the ending. Just the ending.
That's the best part of the fucking movie.
By far the worst.
I want to film us watching it, and then like as you look at the screen in disappointment after Tom Jane is holding his dead son's head in his hand. I just want to look at you and laugh. Lime Green Hulk 52 says, "Cast the bullshitters as X-Men."
Oh god.
Oh, by the way, I think Dave's Golden Duck was trolling us with the Man of Steel is brilliant thing, because he goes on to say WB doesn't know how to make DC movies anymore. So I guess we just got trolled. He got the best of us.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Yeah. Hashtag Martha. Wolf of Wall Street joke. Yeah, this dude was awesome. We got trolled. Good job, Dave. Hey, Bryce Dealman still comments.
Holy shit.
On our channel. Yeah, he says, After Earth drunk commentary, and I promise you a good fortune. Okay, well. Let's see. Anything else? I really just want to read this email.
James Roa said that we would make a hell of a villainous group, and what would our names be and abilities?
We would just be world-class
villains
with the ability to talk shit to anyone.
I call time travel.
I would still be Kendo Slice, and my ability would be to troll and infuriate and offend people.
I would just beat people into submission, both literally and verbally. Like, just pound you and make you say we're the best.
Break your back, make you humble.
Yeah.
If you piss me off, I'll just erase you from existence, so that's it.
Beauty. I'll help him.
You better bring a witch, bitch.
Can you help me? Can you teach me to time travel to make me a billionaire?
I'll see what I can do. I got some theories and some plutonium. I got from
Libyans.
From Libyans.
Right. Some Iraqi sympathizers named Osama Slaughter. Sorry, that was a wrestling reference that like 6 people got.
Read the email.
Okay, so now I'm going to read the email. Thanks for everyone that commented this week. If I didn't get to your comment next week. I'll read it. I just really want to read this email. So this is a very nice email. It comes from Jason White. Dear WCBS, I just wanted to start off by saying you guys are just the best. You're the first channel I've actually taken the time to listen to every podcast episode. Wow,
Holy
everyone?
damn,
Even
dude.
God, the first ones are terrible, but thank you.
Yeah, they weren't good, but awesome.
Other channels, I'll listen to a few of them and just move on. I first discovered the channel when I saw the video about Marvel begging for people to buy their books, so this guy is fairly... Wow, that was only 4 months ago I made the... You've listened to like 88 or 86 podcasts in 4 months?
That is so many hours. That is so much time.
Good for you.
You're not tired of my voice yet? I hate my voice. I'm tired of talking right now. And listening to Jeff, something just clicked. I couldn't hear sincerity in Jeff's voice. I thought, wow, here's a guy who cares. Thank you. I'm not that into comic books. I've only read a few, but I do respect them and their impact on pop culture. And I respect you, Jeff, and all the other bullshitters for their passion and the humor and intelligence. Even though I have listened to every episode, I still re-listen to them again and again at work. Even though I hear the same jokes, I still laugh. Thank you. A grateful fan.
This job must really suck.
No, that is an awesome
he
email.
must-
That's my favorite thing we've ever received.
He must work like in those places that like test emissions for cars. Because even though you're there for like 7 or 8 hours, you only do like 2 hours worth of work the whole day.
Now, I have a question for you, Jason White. Do you listen to us on YouTube or Podbean or what? Just out of curiosity, because I like that everyone watches us on YouTube, but if you have to be on the go, Podbean is a free alternative. And I put an extra little hidden song at the end of each episode.
True story.
It's fun. No, again, thank you, Jason White. I appreciate the email a lot, actually. Other emails are just from goop.com. I guess it's Gwyneth trying to reach out one more time.
She apologizing for misleading us.
Yeah.
But I bought those stickers to put them on my nipples and nothing happened.
Dion, you and I would still plow Gwyneth Paltrow without a second thought.
Easily.
Oh, yeah, same. I would too.
Oh, definitely.
I didn't want to speak for you, Kendo, or Nick, because Samoans have different beauty standards.
It's true. It's very true.
Just saying. So that was a great email. We read our comments. One thing. Okay, so James Bond 25 comes out on November 8th of 2019. That is over 2 years away. Dion.
Yes.
We could do one James Bond commentary a month and put it out and be done just in time for this movie. So I think we should start within the next 2 weeks. We should do one Bond movie a month.
No, count me in, man. Count me in.
You have to be there for all of them. You too, Nick and Ken.
I'm down, man. I'm down.
So that'll just be the four of us for James Bond. The other guys that have been on the channel have not seen a Bond movie outside of the ones that have been in theaters in the last 5 years, so count them out. It's just going to be the four of us.
Didn't Phil buy the fucking Blu-rays and they were just sitting on his shelf like in
He
the
does that
wrapper
with
still?
multiple movies. There are multiple movies that he's bought just because we talked about it on the show.
You should steal those from Phil and then mail them to me, Jeff, so I don't have to go buy them.
Hell, I gave Dion an entire set of James Bond DVDs. That's how many copies I have laying around the house. Did I not,
He
Dion?
100% did. 100%
I
did.
gave him 4 box sets of the remastered DVDs.
Jeez.
At one point in time, I owned 2 copies of the Blu-ray set, but I decided to return it and get an iPod instead.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, that iPod broke.
Oh.
Yeah, fuck Apple. No, but we'll do that. We've got a lot of positive responses for the James Bond commentary, so those are going to come. We're going to do them in chronological order. We're going to start with Dr. No, we're going to end with Spectre, and then Bond 25 will come out, and we'll do a big review for that. So we should start. We'll definitely have that episode out. I think we'll put it out before Halloween. Or do you want to put it out November 1st? That'll give us exactly 20... That's exactly 2 years almost to the day.
Yeah, plus we got all that Schlocktoberfest to do for October.
Yeah, so November 1st, or whatever that Saturday will be, because we'll put them out every Saturday. How's that, guys? We'll start recording them early, and then we'll have them out once a month on Saturdays. But expect those. Should be a lot of fun. I hope with all the thousands of new listeners since we've kind of, started the year, that those get a lot of views. Because I know some of the people that listen to the show, like Eric Ward, have reached out to me to tell me how much they love James Bond and how much they appreciate my commentary on James Bond. So I'm ready to talk about 007 until I turn blue in the face, and Dion knows.
Definitely.
Dion loves it too, though. That's the cool thing. It's like if I sit and talk about the minutia of like from Russia with Love compared to Doctor No, he goes, yeah, I can see what you're saying, and he actually legitimately knows. He's not just telling me.
We can actually
that.
have a obviously the depth is different, but I can actually have an intelligent conversation about Bond movies that are the original ones. Most people are like, oh yeah, Daniel Craig's a really good Bond. Well, name 2 other ones, and they can't fucking do it.
That's horrible. They can't name 2 other ones. Jesus.
Yeah, Roger Moore just died. Sean Connery's the classic Bond. Pierce Brosnan was great.
Still
Daniel
relevant.
Craig is, yeah, Pierce Brosnan has got that movie with Jackie Chan coming out. That looks pretty good.
What is... Oh, wait, I think I saw the trailer for that.
You did? I'm going to see that movie when it hits theaters. It looks pretty damn good, if you ask me.
I know...
All right,
I know. Oh, no, I was going to say, he's in a movie with the guy from Jackass, Johnny Knoxville, and it's on Netflix.
Jackie
Chan. Sorry, Jackie Chan.
Oh, I was like, oh, that's kind of sad.
No, God, no.
See, I can buy Jackie Chan starring in films with somebody like Johnny Knoxville, but not Pierce Brosnan. He's just too classy.
Yeah, that's true.
I would love to have Pierce Brosnan on this show. That'd be interesting.
Well, that's what we're going to try to work on.
Did he really bang Rene Russo in Thomas Crown Affair?
See, I would just be like, because I think he's my favorite Bond. It would be a nice experience because I wouldn't really want to shit on him. Actually, I'd tell him he's a little too self-deprecating when he talks about his experience as James Bond. Because Die Another Day is garbage, but the other 3 they go from great to good.
They're great. I'd say all 3 of them are great.
Yeah, well, to me, GoldenEye is just head and shoulders above the other 2.
Yeah,
but they're still like if GoldenEye's a 10, the other 2 are like 8 and 7.5.
Right.
One day it can happen, man. We just got to keep pumping out the
Who
episodes.
knows? Maybe one day we just tweet at him or ask him. He might be like, "Yeah, sure, why the fuck not?"
Dear Pierce, we need you on our podcast.
Yeah, we're about to do a huge James Bond thing, and we want you on it.
Boom.
I would shit my pants if he's like, yeah, I'll be on for your James Bond episode. I'd be like, what the fuck? Pierce Brosnan's going to review GoldenEye with us?
No.
I say try it, man.
Best thing he can do is do a drunk commentary with us about GoldenEye.
Yes!
Oh my God. Yes, Jesus, if you exist, give me that.
We will all just drink fucking martinis.
Yeah, that's the only thing we can drink. It's fucking vodka martinis.
Shaken, not stirred.
Or we just lie and say, yeah, I didn't stir it. I promise, Pierce. I promise.
Yeah, I got a martini.
Dion, I have a question. Do we get him to drunkenly watch GoldenEye, or do we drunkenly get him to watch Die Another Day, where we ask him, like, why is it so bad?
Ooh.
that might turn bad. At least with GoldenEye.
I'm leaning towards Die Another Day.
Yeah.
Because we would get to talk to him off air. I'd be like, man, you're my favorite Bond. I'm not here to shit on you, but can we do Die Another Day because it's so bad? Like, at least maybe at the end he could be like, well, I kind of wanted to come back and do another one, and these are the plans I had. I'd be like, and, it could either way. Pierce Brosnan, if you're listening or whatever you're doing right now in California, just be on our show. It's guaranteed good time.
Yeah. Take time out of managing your vineyard and help us out, man.
Yeah, just give us 20 minutes of your time.
Oh, no. He's got to stay for the whole 2 hours of the flick.
We are kind of asking for a lot, but I'm just saying, Neil Pierce, big fans, bro. Come on. I mean, Remington Steele was cool, too. Taffin, I love that one. So I'm just telling you things so I know who you are. November Man, I thought that was a great movie. Just please be on the...
Dante's Peak was a
fun.
Mrs. Doubtfire was amazing. You were the best part.
Dude, I cannot honestly say... I can't say that because when I saw Mrs. Doubtfire, I hated Pierce
We have to tell him that, though, to get him on the show.
Yeah.
I think he would respect our honesty instead of us kissing his ass the whole time. Like, hey, man, you were a good bad guy in Mrs. Doubtfire, but Robin Williams...
Well, also, like, I remember I watched that movie recently, and he was never... He never said anything bad about, like, the wife, whatever. He was like, oh, I'm going to take...
He was never, like, a really...
No, he was... No, yeah, he was like, I'm going to take... He's like, I love the kids, I love the wife, I'm going to take care of them, and, be a good man to them. And I was like, oh, okay, like... Because, it's been a while since I've seen it. I was like, yeah, he was actually, like, a proper dude.
Now, do you remember what his character's name was? I'm not Googling this. I just
I don't remember what his name was. What was his name?
Stuart Dunmire. I don't know why I remember that, but... Anyway, let's put this baby to bed. So, this has been World Class Bullshitters, episode 87. Every Thursday night, and it's almost Friday morning, we take a dump on the world of pop culture. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with everybody you know. If you really like this channel, subscribe to it. And if you've already subscribed and you really want to help us grow, head on over to Patreon, head on over to incarnate-studios.com, pick up a shirt, become a patron. Any small amount helps the channel grow. In November, we're getting new equipment, and so you're going to see an increase in quality and quantity here on the World Class Bullshitters channel. If you'd like to talk to us every day of the week, because who the hell wouldn't, make sure to join our Facebook page. We have two of them. We have the World Class Bullshitters page where we just post the updates. It's kind of a formality page. But then there's the World Class Bullshitters fan page, which you can talk to us, we'll talk to you. It's a lot of fun. All the guys that have ever been on the show have access to that page too. So if you really like Joel and you want to tell him, he's there. If you really hate Dan and you want to tell him...
Or if you really want to shit on Phil, just go ahead and do that too, because we all do, and it's really fun.
For the highest bidder, I will give you his phone number and address. So just... All you gotta do is ask. Honestly, just... I'll give it to you for free. You're on the show, man.
And then I'll give it out to everybody for free.
Hey, it's a perk of being a bullshitter. Right.
Yeah, for certain tiers of money, we'll give you more and more information about it.
Yeah.
For a $1 donation to Patreon.
For 3 months, guaranteed. No, but if you'd like to be like our friend Jason White and contact the show, we're worldclassbs@mail.com, the best mail. And we will read it, and we will respond, and it'll be a good experience for all. We're also on Twitter. I think we're the World Class BS on Twitter. Nick runs the Twitter machines, and we got thousands of followers. Nick's doing the Lord's work to make our social media presence known. We're on Instagram. We're on fucking Twitch. Tell the guys or the listeners about the Twitch stream the other night. I missed out on it.
That's Dion. Dion, you need to do that, man.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, we just randomly came up one afternoon, the end of last week, to come, have our own Twitch essentially because I was. We're always, all of us, either on PS4 and Xbox One. I think majority of us are actually trustworthy human beings, and we have a PlayStation, but that's neither here nor there.
Yep.
Nick created the Twitch. He and I, we have the password, and it was literally just like, hey, if you're playing online sometime, log on to Twitch and stream. And so I did that. Our Twitch is just WCBS 69. We don't have a schedule yet. Usually it's just I'll tweet or Nick will tweet, hey, we're going to be on Twitch 15 minutes from now, 20 minutes from now, half an hour from now, and we're just literally playing some. So far it's just been Call of Duty. This last time was fun as shit. I was by myself, and it worked out perfectly because some guy tried to shit talk me on Call of Duty, and I fucking embarrassed his ass. And then my mother-in-law randomly came because she was coming over, and so she was sitting here, and we were like chit-chat for a little bit while I was on Twitch, and then Hillary and I did it.
I think it was me and Lime Green Hulk were like talking to you the whole time.
Yeah, that was super fun. So, and Lime Green Hulk, he was the one he asked about the X-Men thing, and that was super fun. So, and then Hillary and I did one shortly later that night. That was really fun. And yeah, I mean, like I said, you want to follow us on Twitch, just WCBS 69. Like I said, just follow us, and you have to follow us on Twitter because that's how we announce it. Follow us on Twitter. We'll let you know when we're doing a stream. Jump on, and if you want to just chill back, have some beers, and listen to me talk shit online, let's do it.
Perfect. So, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, we're there. We have presences. We have the presence on every social media platform, so there's not an excuse to enjoy World Class Bullshitters. We're on Podbean, we're on iTunes, everything is going Millhouse for us. I've been your host, Jeff Hicks.
I am the man with the plan, the original tan, white moms and all that, love them. All moms, love them, Dion Green.
I'm Nick, you're listening Samoan saying that if you want to buy Strip Club Massacre, go to the WCBS episode 86. It's in the show description there. This link is there. Go buy a damn copy.
Are you going to be handing them out at Dragon?
I will not be handing them out, but you can go to the link in episode 86 of WCBS on YouTube, and the link is there, and you can buy it. I might sign it, I might not. You don't know. You don't know.
Yeah, if you get rush shipping, actually, I don't think you. Just, if you find Nick at Dragon Con, stay 10 feet away at all times.
He will fuck you. He will if he has to.
Don't say things like
he doesn't want to, but he has to. You have been warned.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying. Don't anyone get upset that I went to Dragon Con and a giant Samoan ripped me in the ass. Well, you've been warned.
Told you.
We told you it was going to happen.
2-day lead. Yeah. They can't control their libido. He's trying to make more.
Yeah, I'm the last one. I got to make more.
Yeah, he's got to repopulate a fucking island. What do you have to do this Friday? Nothing. Shut up. Say goodbye, Kendo.
Goodbye, Kendo.
Thanks for listening, folks, and for those that are going to listen to us on Podbean and Stitcher and iTunes, here's a song.